So irresponsible.
Hello, everyone. So, welcome to the stream. Grab your drinks and raise your glasses. It's time for Fools and Flagons.
Wait, you can't say that word. It's offensive.
Yeah,
Pez.
he's got Pez.
That's awesome.
The prop master strikes again.
You should tape it to your shirt, like, this is my name tag.
Don't listen to her. Eat them. Don't be a heathen.
Yeah, save the wrapper.
I am eating them.
So yeah, in reference to fools being offensive, our go live notification supposedly contains a word that you should not say to your grandma. That word is fools. So I guess I'm slowly gonna wait for them to decide that our channel name is inappropriate, and we'll see what happens there.
Listen,
But,
Twitch. I'm a pretty freaking stupid asshole.
It would be
That's
foolish
pretty-
to do so.
That's pretty fucking stupid.
It's so dumb.
We're literally calling ourselves this. It's
They
self-degradation.
don't know that.
Plus, there are people on Twitch who have like 666 in their channel names or whatever.
Pez, can you boost yourself? You're very quiet.
I can't boost myself anymore.
I mean, that was better.
I maxed out.
Max out.
You have been boosted.
All right. Say something again. I turned you up.
I'm
and-
saying many things.
Space.
Okay.
Many a things.
I'll try to keep an eye on chat, and if Martyr says you're too quiet, then
Hold on.
Too quiet.
Options. Voice and video. Max it out. There. Is that any better?
yes.
That's better.
There. I can hear myself. It is annoying.
Why?
You could turn that feature off.
I can't. Not with this.
Oh.
Won't fit over the headset. You'll break them.
I know.
So just sort of stalling for time as Vanera got herself into a long match and then decided that she had to pee right beforehand. But because some of our conversations beforehand are great. So how's everyone been? It feels like a really long time since we've had 2 games recorded early.
It
Yeah.
does.
I don't like it. I don't like waiting that long between sessions. Actually, I guess I can go ahead and get our quote-unquote ads out of the way. Oh! Hold
She
on.
has pizza.
I must berate her. You keep spare pizza in the bathroom, too?
I do.
Okay.
The worst berating of all time I've ever heard.
I was expecting more of
Effort
a
into it.
backlash for that one. So, as always, donations are never required but always appreciated. If you would like to support us, please consider becoming a patron. All proceeds from subscriptions go straight back into making Fools and Flagons an even better experience, and it helps keep the podcast alive and well. A special thank you to Martyr and Arshern, our 2 Patreon supporters.
Thank you.
Vanera, I
Always
saw that
more,
look.
Never appreciate.
Shut up and eat your pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you would like to see past adventures, you can watch our VODs on our YouTube channel or listen to our podcast that is on multiple platforms such as iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, and Podcast Addict. I always fuck that one up.
Learn
Podcast
English
Addict.
better.
Mark,
That's
it's
inappropriate.
never
You wouldn't say that to your grandmother.
Oh, she does that to me.
I mean, technically now I can. She's dead, so.
Exactly, mine too. You wouldn't say that to your grandmother.
Also,
I totally would.
I will be using from now on Kayla's Christmas present to me, which is a lovely
Hooker bot.
raven and something.
Frickin'
Frickin'
Raven.
Rook and Raven. That's it. I would show you how much I've already written in it, but it's spoilers.
Oh, just do a flash. Just go like, yeah.
Well, no, because then
No, I'll
someone's gonna
pause it.
freeze frame it and.
Exactly. I'll pause that shit, bitch.
I don't have anything fancy to show off.
Mine's better. Anyway, so yeah, does anybody have anything that they want to share or say?
Nope.
Pez has
I
been
think that's all that
drinking. It's
needs to
gonna
be
be a
said.
good night.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody has anything, we can get right on into the recap and get this shindig started.
You gonna read the recap, or are you gonna offer it to someone else?
The last time I offered it to you, you butchered it royally.
I'll try it. I cleaned my glasses this time.
Damn.
Yeah, I can give it. I'll put it in the chat, and whoever wants to go for it can go for it.
Oh my
What if we
goodness.
all alternate one word?
Oh God, we'll be here half the fucking night.
Oh God.
Here we go.
All right.
Agreed?
I'll do it.
All right.
The Tempests set out for Drybell, but since the trains are not permitted to stop in Drybell, the party decides to head out on foot, unsure of what they are to expect when they arrive. Along the way, the party is enveloped by a dust storm that somehow slows their track across the plains somewhat. Partway through, they encounter ruins that seem to have come from another time. The storm seems to unleash an ancient undead tyrannosaurus that had a nasty habit of vomiting up its mummified last meal. After a quick skirmish, the Rex was properly defeated,
That's not what I
And-
typed.
deadified,
There it is.
and the group discovered an interesting book deep within its rotting corpse, much to Zeke's dismay as Pez wiggled around inside the now properly dead corpse. We join them now as they exit the ruins and continue their path towards Drybell.
Good enough.
Yay.
I wasn't expecting anyone else to read this, so I figured I could say deadified and have it be funny, and then you just fucking auto-corrected for me. All right.
Onward. Oh
So-
wait, no, I'm still dumb.
Yes, at the current point in time, Brick is still a metallic Triceratops. So, you have defeated the Tyrannosaurus. Pez is still goopy, but alive. You all were exiting the ruins and heading towards Drybell.
That's right.
The storm seems to be passing at this point. So, what would you all like to do?
Real quick, if y'all don't mind, I'm a little bit goopy, as you can see, so I'm going to take a little bit of a dirt bath.
Before you do that.
Alright? You ain't gonna lick me, are you?
Fuck no.
Zeke, I got this one.
Hold on a second here. I am going to.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have a piece of intestine over here. Get off.
No. No.
I am going to cast Gust of Wind with reckless abandon on fucking.
You did this already when you were attempting to clean off the book as well, and he held his ground behind it. I mean, if you want to waste another spell slot, by all means.
Actually,
Go
can
for
I?
I'm ready.
Nope, don't have anything that has water. No, I do, but I can't use it. So okay.
Do I?
I mean,
Technically, I do.
I mean,
I
if
don't.
you have any fire spells, that probably works too. Actually, do I have any fire spells?
Yeah, let's not barbecue Pez.
No, you'll be
Barbecue
fine.
chicken, dinner and a show.
Also, DM, let me know when I believe an hour has passed.
Okay, it's
It's only
been,
been like 5 minutes.
yeah, it's been 5 to 10 minutes as the wiggling happened, the book was procured, it was cleaned off. One of you cast Identify, I believe, to figure out what this book was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been 10, 20 minutes. And it is polymorph. You can dismiss it at any time.
If he's smart enough to do
I
that.
have an intelligence of 2.
I mean, that's
Never
smarter
mind.
than a moth.
I may need to look into the text for that one, because just staying as a Triceratops unwillingly is it's not
It's
really
not unwilling. It's just like
But
I'm supposed to be
it's-
doing something. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh look.
I mean, if that's how you want to play it, that's how you play it. So we'll just roll with that. So Pez at the moment is rolling around in the dirt to try to make the intestines and goop get kind of crumbly and fall off. So, with that happening, you see Brick in his Triceratops form kind of lumber over and just kind of look at Pez flopping. What are you other three doing?
Looking at this happening in front of me.
I think.
That I
Oh, we need some
just can't
ambiance.
stop looking
I
at.
apologize.
Sharing.
No.
How do you spell Sharon's paper?
Syrin.
Thank you.
Who still has the boba stuff on them?
I
The what?
believe
Oh, the
it's
boba?
Venera.
Okay, yeah, the Triceratops is eventually gonna probably make its way over to Venera and start sniffing.
Excuse me, Brick. Can I help you? If you gonna like push his fat head away, go away.
He has a fat head.
Yeah, we'll go with this. This is fine.
Ah, toe cramp. Ooh, toe cramp.
I have a toe cramp. What'd you do?
I
Existing.
Existed.
My toes touched.
Hey, you ballerina.
All right, so what's the plan? What are you guys doing?
I'm waiting for everyone else to finish so we can move onward.
Yeah, we have a direction to go. Why don't we just start moving in that direction with Dum Dum back there, probably on a leash.
Well, I mean, I could talk to him.
We could try.
Sure.
I will
Let's-
cast Speak with Aminos.
Okay. So you recite the words that just sort of sprang into your mind by the gift of Coyote, and
Bark, woof, woof.
someone write that down. There will be a test later.
I didn't even hear what
And
he
you are
said.
now able to speak to the deep rumbling mental voice of Brick. You also hear Hamburger, who's been gone for a little bit.
Hamburger.
You see his little, what used to be white head, pop up out of the corpse and periscope around to look at you.
Oh. Okay, well, you have fun in there.
His little feathered wing. And then he submerges again.
Bird.
Hamburger, get out of there.
Pez, you hear him say, "No."
Hey, Brick, how you doing? You look large.
I'm hungry and
You
sad.
hungry? Oh, you're sad? Yeah.
I didn't get to headbutt the big thing.
Oh, I know. It's pretty bad. I mean, oh, you know what? You can headbutt it right now. Something might fly out.
There's no point.
Oh, why not? I think it'd be fun.
Kasumi?
You see the Triceratops start to back up away from the T-Rex corpse.
Can you understand either of these people?
No.
Okay.
But if it gets to be too much of an issue, I do have shiny lights. Maybe he'll follow.
And then he charges.
Oh, God.
Oh,
You charge the Rex corpse.
Yes.
Make a dex roll, I suppose.
You can just like plow through it.
Let me see. What is the Triceratops' dex score?
Gonna-
Oh no!
No, Hamburger's gonna yeet out.
11.
11. You're still not quite used to this form. You've got 4 legs now, so you kind of go and you are lowering your head and raising up to look and make sure you're going where you're meaning to go. Your foot hits a bit of sand and veers you off course, and you kind of clip the head and it comes clean off. And inside you just see wide-eyed Hamburger just in the throat. And he kind of crawls out, looks, and decides that That's enough of that, and goes back to Pez.
Well, did
You
you
were
have
right.
fun there?
I feel better.
All right. Well, we're gonna go on and head on out. So you want to follow me?
Okay.
There's food.
I
promise
I
you.
feel like I'm forgetting something.
What's that? What you think you forgetting?
I don't know. I forgot.
Well, all right. I just forgot too. So let's head on out.
I want to point
Okay.
out this has literally been a conversation. Just sounds like.
Yeah. All you guys hear.
Pretty much.
Zana's just there, like I am so fucking confused.
Okay, so you guys head off.
Come on, Juniper. What do you sound like? Hey, Juniper. How are you? I've never talked to you. How are you doing?
I hurt.
Oh yeah, that is true. We both hurt.
Very manly, girly dinosaur.
Listen, when you DM a campaign, you can come up with voices on the spot. Now shut the fuck up.
Kayla, what was your dinosaur's name?
I can never remember.
Oh my goodness.
You should have written this.
You're the note taker.
You there, Pink Hadrosaur, whatever your name is. How are you doing?
She calls me Kiwi.
Oh, Kiwi. What a lovely name.
I thought Kiwi was a boy.
What?
Making
Boys
this shit
can't
up as
sound
I go.
effeminate?
You don't remember the name. You don't.
Yeah, you don't get to choose the gender. You had your chance.
Denied.
There is one other dinosaur that I could talk to. Where the heck is... Where's that
There is
Deinonychus?
another.
It's sitting underneath my arm.
Oh, I was like, you cannot like luggage carry a Deinonychus.
Football carry.
I
Yeah.
actually can. Thank you very much. How much does a Deinonychus weigh again? Hold on a second here.
It's the height different. You'd literally just be like dragging its feet behind it. It would not like that at all.
I love it. Better call it George.
Hey there, Deinonychus.
Golden George.
Do you have a name?
It's a female.
Do you like us? Do you like being around us?
Keep me fed. It's all right.
All right. You know, if we don't feed you, the bunny, you can eat the bunny.
Zon, you see the Deinonychus head. Center one big ol' eye right on you.
But again, we'll keep you fed. I promise. But again, if we don't, then yeah, bunny.
Oh god.
Nim, what did you say to the Deinonychus?
Before you respond, you hear the stamping feet of Kibi behind. Go, it smells bad.
Oh yeah, come on, let's go. Dino Brigade.
Kasumi.
Come on,
Oh, okay. Back to him. Hop.
come on, Brick, let's go.
Random question. Do you fox form then jump, or do you jump and fox form mid leap?
This
I
is
would
important.
say- I would say she probably shapeshifts into a fox form and then jumps up.
Okay.
She hasn't quite mastered that whole fanciness yet. She might try to work on it though. It's a good idea.
No,
Okay.
now I'm
Just
curious.
asking for flavor. That's all.
Hey,
Very-
hey, Kasumi. Can you hear just me and you as I talk in Fox?
She just shakes her head.
Oh. Well, I thought that would be interesting.
She shook her head no, implying that she understood what you said.
Pez is hurt. He's injured. He's not that smart.
I'm kind of glad I wasn't the only one that kind of picked up on that.
I immediately was like, yep.
All right, so you all continue on. It's a little after midday at this point. The sun's beginning to dip down below the horizon. Is there anything you would like to do while you were traveling?
Well, about 40 minutes in, Brick back into himself. It's like, that felt weird. Next time, somebody remind me that I can turn back.
Yes, please, some button remind him that he can turn back.
You okay?
It's a
Use your words, Brick. What?
it was very discombobulating. What, you said use my words?
Listen, I believe you.
That was a big word.
Yes, it was a very big word. I'm surprised you understand what it means.
You're learning. Hey, yo,
I'm naive, not stupid. As he climbs on the other dinosaur.
hey, Venera.
Hmm?
Can I have my mask back?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mask on, snout.
Okay, so Brick, you join Pez on Juniper.
I'll hop on the dinosaur. Yep, on Juniper.
You all keep on heading northeast towards Drybell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything you would like to do at this point, as Brick is now among the talking? If not, we can fast forward towards the evening time when you're all likely needing to look for some rest, unless you wish to continue through the night. You've got about 2 more days' travel.
I want my beauty.
Just out of curiosity, I'll summon Mortar and have him do a quick fly around to see if he sees anything that's fortuitous for us to go towards.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Perception, he has advantage. And it's +3. Okay, 19.
19. Okay. You send him up, and since Pez is the one that's driving Juniper, you're pretty much able to just look through Mortar's eyes for most of the journey, popping out every now and then to make sure that no one's talking shit about you or what have you, since you're blind, deaf, and dumb. But eventually, as the sun is really beginning to dip way off to your left, you see you're in a bit of a savanna. So there's dry grass, there's kind of greenish grass, there's trees sparked up here and there. But off in the distance, I can't tell if you guys are making fun of my hand motions or not, or if you just all happen to be scratching at the same time.
Would never.
And a giant book! You see off in the distance, just over the horizon, seems to be a little bit of a glimmer. The kind of shimmering that you've seen that would be the surface of some water.
Alright, I'll come out of white vision. You all said you wanted water last time, yes?
Yes.
Water.
And I'll
What's
just
water?
point in the direction of water. That way.
What's water?
Can we make it before night, before it's too late?
How far away was it?
Best guess, couple miles. 3-4 miles. Pretty easy to get within the next hour or so.
About an hour.
Yes, I want the water.
Yeah, let's go.
We're making our way towards there.
Venera.
In that time frame, can I use this new fancy schmancy book of sending?
Sure.
I would like to send a message.
Okay.
No.
Following the instructions of the book.
I need to send my wife a love letter.
Oh, it was
You can read it
pre-typed.
aloud.
No, it wasn't. No, I'm reading
Oh.
the instructions.
Oh, okay.
I thought you actually did something.
No. I don't think there's a word count. Is there? It
are you
didn't say
doing,
anything
Brick?
about a word count.
It's a word count. If we're using sending spell,
No,
there's
no,
those
no.
25.
No,
Oh.
Book
the
book
book.
of sending.
Oh, okay, my
Book
bad.
we got.
Right. I didn't know if it was still the
Emojis.
same parameters as the sending spell.
Probably
not the way that
much
I
as
made
a
it.
page.
Whatever you
Rip
can
out
cram. You could literally send a picture of a penis to someone.
Vanilla, I need to borrow that book.
Gotta do that at some point.
Immediately.
Now, the temptation to have you actually write something would be pretty interesting, but that can be a little time consuming. So,
My goodness.
You can just BS it and then write something in the
Whenever
future.
we finally make a mortal enemy, we just draw a picture of them.
You can write it later, and then we'll have it in the artwork for
Yeah.
lore.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that after.
okay.
Do I need to rip out the page?
You would write the name of the recipient, write your message on the front page, and then you rip the page out, recite the incantation, and then all the other flavor stuff happens that I can relay again if need be.
No, I'm trying to find the incantation because I don't see it on that.
It's just you could literally say bibbidi bobbidi hoogada boogada if you wanted to. It's
Dear Canlin or to Canlin. To Canlin.
you will have more success if you know the first and last names of the recipient, by the way.
Swift song.
Okay.
Random, random person gets random dick pic.
I am gonna write that we have heard news of demise in Drybell. Do you or Amanda by chance have any information about that? You can reply to this message.
Okay.
Well, just straight up business. No flavor, no nothing.
P.S. We miss you.
Yes, you're pretty.
Marry me.
Marry me. Oh, no. P.P.S. We have found your family at the bakery. And they gave us so many pastries.
We eat all of those.
Oh yeah, we ate all of it.
And by we, they mean Kasumi and Badera.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't judge us.
I am super judging.
Cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls, cream puffs.
So it was. Do you or Amanda know about Drybell? We met your family. Miss you lots.
With the stutter.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Writing that down just so I know how to reply later on. Okay.
We're in the middle of a deadly battle. All of a sudden, the little paper comes flying in.
You got mail.
Airplane.
Jagoosh. So you have the page sitting on the top of the book, and you recite the incantation. The little ornamental dragon painted on the cover peels off the leather-bound front cover, wraps around the page, picks it up, gives a little, and then 3 flaps of its wings, and it just folds in on itself, a little shower of arcane sparks. The page and the dragon are gone.
6 out of 10 dragon noise.
Kasumi's just watching awestruck. Kasumi's just watching you, and the whole time, eyes super wide, just like
Yeah, so
in full fluffy fox form.
Vanira, basically what you saw is since Kasumi was in your lap, you had the book open, you're writing, you pull the page out, sit it on top, it goes away, you lower the book and just staring at you as you lower the book down.
Hi, Kasumi.
She does the whole paw.
He boops the snoot.
Okay, so
Figured they may have information.
after about an hour or so, you all arrive at what seems to be a very small sort of spring oasis. It doesn't even look like it would be deep enough to get much past Zahn's belly button. But the water looks very clear, very clean.
Oh, I could change that.
I'm gonna look over at Pez. I will kill you if you dirty this water before I get to clean myself.
I mean, we should all at least drink some before you bathe.
This is not a bathing oasis. Water.
You can speak for yourself, young lady.
I'm not sure how much I trust stagnant water.
Yeah.
Hamburger. Go lick it.
Without any other hesitation, Hamburger hops off, flutter glides down to the water. Chicken waddles up, dips his head in, drinks a bit, kind of looks around, instinctively looking for threats, and seeing nothing bad happen, he goes back to drinking.
Seems fine.
He then
And I'm
proceeds
going
to
in.
cannonball into the water and starts like bird bathing himself, doing the flick the head, flap the wings.
He's not the only one. Zon's going in too. Fuck it. Zon is a dirty boy, and dirty bird needs to take a shower.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm dirtier than you, but anyway.
Fuck you! You too dirty for this water.
Are we staying here?
Yes.
Is this where we're stopping?
Isn't it like nighttime?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The sky is very orange, very purple. It's pretty sunset.
I want
Yeah.
to clean myself.
So, campsite?
Sure.
Yes.
Real quick, DM, just
Mhm.
because I know this other person, but I don't know if Brick would know this. Would he know that watering holes are like prime spots for predators to take down prey? And probably not a good idea to set up camp near.
For lack of a better
Man.
option, make a history check.
Okay.
Because I don't really know how else to say, like, make a knowledge check.
Could I do that in Venera too?
Check your brain.
Yeah,
Well, it could
sure.
be survival,
Yeah, you guys
history, nature, whatever you want
Yeah.
to make it. I was just asking.
Where is it?
Well, that's so yours would be history because you're checking your data banks. Venera and Pez, make a nature check.
Nature.
Nature.
Mine's a 9 total, so probably not.
Oof, I'm dumb. 4.
4.
19.
Oh no. Okay.
19. Brick kind of expresses his concerns with Pez, who is still just sort of like almost Christmas Story kid, where his arms are at his side. Like, you're used to being dirty, but this is kind of gross.
Have
So
you, like, dried up?
yeah, he's like stiff.
Ugh.
So he's looking at Hamburger in the water, going, Hamburger thinks it's fine. So, and meanwhile, Venera is just like, probably want to keep watch tonight. It is a small little pond. It's not like a big thing where like something would be lurking in the water, and you can see to the bottom. Like it's fairly shallow.
Freaking Sarko
We-
just comes out and
We
I
are
just-
keeping watch tonight.
It's this moment of like Zeke knows that predators stake out watering holes to take down prey, but would Brick know it?
You're talking to the dude who survives in the
Look,
wild.
You rolled the dice, and you came
No,
up short.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're still a little befuddled from being a Triceratops today, and you're trying to process how you felt between what you are now and what you were then, and how you might be able to like overcome that in the next time around. And it's a
Gotcha.
whole thing.
I'm gonna try to clean myself up before freaking Goopy McNurgle jumps in the water.
Yeah.
See Brick go, into the water.
So
His
you
belly
actually just
flop.
face plant into the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zahn, you're debating like where you can go to get away from where Hamburger was dipped in, and as you're going around to the other side, you just see Brick boom right into the water. It goes everywhere, slooshes back up onto him, and he's just kind of laying in there. Seems happy as a clam.
Is he sink or float?
Oh, he sinks.
Sink.
He sinks like a
Made of
motherfucker.
metal.
There's quite a few bubbles that seem to just continuously come out of him, just like shoulders, back, neck, ankle. He's filling up.
I will go to the other side of the small thing and shed armor
Right.
and dip.
Hey, Tom, let me join you.
No!
Oh,
You get away from me! You go off my brick, you dirty boy!
I'm not that dirty.
You are very dirty.
I'm just crusty.
You are so dirty, if I had flame magic, I would burn you instead of cleaning you.
Kasumi, you said that you were putting up the campsite. Is that correct?
Yeah, she's just kind of standing there, like with her mouth like half open, like in shock. Just the amount of just like masculine grossness happening right now. And she,
I'm dirty
like,
from the T-Rex. I just want to bathe. I'm not a
She's just
heathen.
I'm.
This is the epitome of masculinity.
She's like, I'm not going to get in that water, and then she just goes over and finds a spot to put the campsite.
Assuming we're sharing a tent tonight, I'm not sharing with any of them.
No, they can sleep outside.
Now, I will also say that this little pond is... You could, like... A good throw and you can get a rock from one side to the other, so there's not a whole lot of privacy in this.
Yeah.
Brick just pops his head out of the water. I don't use a tent.
I like sleeping under the
Okay.
stars.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna go put the tent up.
So how is your confidence level with opening up the tent? Are you still kind of like, eh?
She's getting better. She's getting better. She's gonna set it down. And she's gonna stand up and straighten up her shoulders. She's gonna set it, and then she's gonna swiftly walk away.
Oh.
Okay, so
Smack my table.
so cool guy still doesn't look at explosion, but
Yep.
the tents spring out, the chairs, the fire, it all lands, poof, and the light poofs into existence. The rest of you are bathing and otherwise mucking up the water. Vanira and Kasumi are already laying claim to a tent for themselves, leaving no room for anyone else.
Starfish.
At some point, Brick gets out of the water, dries himself off, and starts like oiling joints and stuff.
Drying
To make sure he
yourself
doesn't
off
look.
is a really funny concept, considering that you come out of the water and you literally stand there and drain for about 3 minutes. As just all the water leaves every nook, every cranny, and at some points you're like, I still feel a little... Ah, there goes more. Okay, yep. Leans to the side, more gushes out. Well, that worked. Let me try this side. Yep, there's a little bit more over here. It takes you a hot minute to fully drain.
If we shake Brick, is he waterlogged now? Like, he's just like a jug?
He would have been if you shook him within the first few minutes of him getting out, but now after he's like properly draining, you might like shake his arm a little bit and hear a little sloshing, but not so much.
Do I have any... Interesting question. Do I have any... Nope, I do not have a flame cantrip to dry myself off.
There's a fire. Just go sit in a chair.
Yeah, I'll go sit by
Honestly.
the fire and kind of...
I thought you were
Dry
trying to
myself.
go sit in the fire.
No!
I'll just go sit in the fire.
All right, so
Out.
you claim one of the chairs to sit beside the fire, and you kind of move around and rotate so you get each part to face towards it. And soon enough, you're dry enough that the oil shouldn't mix with anything. You start from the top down so that more water has time to drain, and you're not trying to mix any of that up. So, yeah, you can start oiling yourself, doing self-repairs, essentially.
Self-care.
Yep.
What every human and robot should be doing.
Nah, fuck that.
I have been doing this for a long time.
Zahn is also sitting across the flames, and he's, of course, got his assortment of brushes and combs, and he's...
I need to
quite
dry
dapper.
myself first
Huh?
with a gust of wind.
So, Zahn comes out of the pond. You see him, hair kind of soaking down. He just sort of... Poof! All the fur is going up, then it sinks down, and it's like one of those cartoon moments where it's just... Poof! But then the combs come out. He's content by the fire, sitting in a chair. Anything else that you all are doing before you bed down for the evening? And if you're taking watches, who, what, where, and when?
I will take last watch.
I will take... Vanira, are you taking a watch?
Yes.
I will take a watch with you. You pick.
Okay.
Zon's gonna sneakily ask to take a watch with Kasumi without being totally inconspicuous at the same time.
How are you gonna do this?
Yeah, how do you want to do this?
Hey, Vanera, would you like a watch, buddy?
Yeah,
got
super
break.
inconspicuous.
Oh, it's fine. I got the animals to help keep watch.
Are you gonna let Pez watch by himself, Zon?
No, it's fine. You guys can. It's okay.
Isn't Brick going to also be awake for that watch?
No, well, maybe. Oh,
I'm awake for a watch and a half, I think. Technically.
Correct.
I mean, it all depends on which watch order we're watching in.
Brick, we shall go first.
Okay.
Okay, I'll watch alone then.
I'll take
No,
whichever
it's
watch
fine.
I have to.
Let's see who I'm taking. I should have decided who was what before I rolled the die.
Okay, I have numbers chosen. What did you roll?
5.
You're going with Pez. You feel bad for him.
Alright. I will go get my Deinonychus, though, after I comb myself.
The mounts are staked up. Part of what comes out of the tent is tents, chairs, fire, and a little, like, couple posts where there are harnesses are bound up. So they're all laying down next to each other, perfectly content.
Yep, I'm gonna go get the Deinonychus and bring it over closer to the fire and lay against it.
Okay. It seems a little confused at first. Make an animal handling check. As you basically...
Oh, hey, I'm actually good at that. 23.
So it obeys your commands, but it looks confused. It's never... With its previous owner, it was never treated nicely. It was always kind of get on, ride, attack, tie you up, leave you outside while I go in where it's nice and comfy. So you bring it closer to the fire, convincing it to sit down, and then you kind of snuggle up and lay against it. It's kind of looks at you and then kind of watching around and looking at the rest of you for a minute, but after a moment it lays its head down and just seems to nuzzle in.
I will pet him as I nuzzle him and fall asleep for the first watch.
I just saw Vanira's thing. Okay, so who was taking first watch? Brick and Vanira. Okay, so the rest of you shack up for the evening. Kasumi is in a tent all her own. Pez at this point has a tent all his own because Zon is sleeping with his Deinonychus. So is there anything you two would like to do during your watch?
So, Brick is about little ways into the watch is going to look at Vanira and say, "Can I ask a question?"
Yes.
We might have discussed this already. But where did you get that book?
From Nefeli. And Kadal.
Which one is Nefeli again?
Yeah, which one is Nefeli? I don't know how to describe her.
Sorry, I was gonna let you guys handle that, but let me get you a proper description here real quick.
Kadal while you're at it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Also, do we need to roll perception checks while we're at it?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
Why don't I have? Oh, so you know that she is a being that appears to be made of supple wood with hair like giant lily petals and clothed, for lack of a better word, in flowers, leaves, and vines.
Hot.
Kadal, you've seen him a few times, Venera, when he was there visiting Nefeli, but he seems to be an older humanoid figure in a very, very dark green gray cloak. Always has a hood up over his head, long white beard, and you know that his eyes tend to glow blue with sort of like wispy blue flames coming out of it. And he always is carrying around a staff with a gnarled top in his right hand. And you know that it looks damn near identical to that doodle in your notebook.
Which one? Sorry, what was the name?
Kadal. Cadall.
Was it a C? I've always written it as a K.
Nope, it's a C.
Damn.
Okay.
And Nefeli is Nefeli.
Have you made any progress with it? I know last time we tried to read it, it was readable, but nonsense.
No. No. I've gotten the chapter titles, and that's about it. As far as I've gotten so far.
What were the titles?
You went over this.
I wasn't there, so I didn't pay attention because it wasn't knowledge that I had.
Were you not there?
No.
Why do you wish to know? You can't read it. No one else has been able to read it.
After being directly, maybe not spoken to, but influenced by one of these beings of unimaginable power, I began to worry.
Fair enough.
That book is from one of them, and
The It all was like the boss man, so to speak.
Does he know you have this book?
Oh, I would assume so. Nefeli knows that I have it. Just gonna count the chapters. There's 11.
Any... Oh.
Hmm?
I was wondering why that wasn't me music.
Need some somber at night deep talk music.
Nope, there it goes. Just locked up for a second. Sorry.
I still don't hear anything out of it.
I don't hear anything.
It's windy.
Oh, there we go. I had to really
Yeah.
turn it up. Okay.
Oh.
Really hear it. But Brick's gonna say, I've only been alive for, I think, going on 28, maybe 29 days now. And in that time, we have encountered a being of great power that can reach across time and space to harm one of our own. I've been directly influenced by one of these beings of that people in themselves call themselves gods. And now I realize that we have a, for lack of a better term, artifact of one of these beings of great power just casually sitting in our vicinity at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Did they give you any reason for the book?
Yeah, I don't.
Sorry, I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of not paying attention for most of that. What was the last thing that just happened? I was writing Canlin's reply. I had a reason.
Brick is asking if Nefeli and Kadal gave her the book for a purpose. We don't know of the purpose. He was asking if.
You don't know anything about Kadal necessarily, because until recently you didn't even know it was his journal. You thought it was Nefeli's.
Right.
All you really know is that you had seen her reading it, and you'd kind of bother quite a bit about it, and eventually she said that you can hang on to it and see if you can read it.
Yeah. So it was given to me because I wouldn't leave Nefeli alone, and then she taunted me to read it, and I can't. And I can't find.
Challenge.
I suppose. Yeah. There's doodles. But as opposed to deciphering anything, I can't. And not even the merchant knows how to. I've asked.
So I'm gonna ritual cast comprehend languages real quick.
Okay.
Just letting you know we've done that like 3 or 4 times.
I'm aware, but I had an idea, and it's probably nothing. It's a very long shot. And DM, looking at the chapter titles that we didn't really take into account before, along with the doodles, is there anything Brick would have in his data banks that would almost like from Chuck, like the intersect? Would there be any like red lines that connect Never mind. Bad reference. You haven't seen Chuck before, I guess. My bad. It's a Zachary Levi show. Is there any like connections he could make between any of the titles, the doodles, or anything that might pop out while he can actually read the words, even if it doesn't make sense grammatically?
So, let me pull it up real quick. So, what you're able to see with comprehend languages, there are the chapter titles, but those are doing the same thing that the other text is doing. It's shifting between languages, it's nonsense words, even with your comprehend languages. What you are able to see now, though, is that in another hand, like someone else wrote there, those are the ones that stay one language. You would see a title like The Longest Day Ever, The Brute, The Jovial Dwarf, The Winged Warrior, The Warrior Poet, The Dragon Lovers, The Moon Elf, The Happy Accident, The Sea Queen, The Trickster, and then Family Reunion. Some of those... Make an intelligence check.
Where's my good dice? I need my good dice. Intelligence. If we're going straight, +3. 18.
18. Some of these chapter titles seem to hint towards the deities.
Mhm.
And that's really about all you're able to get out of it. Especially with titles such as the Dragon Lovers, the Warrior Poet. Those all seem to hint towards the deities that are present in this world.
Just because of how Brick views himself, he's going to zero in on the happy accident. What is on that page again?
There's doodles of dinos and plants, and Kadal and Nepheli, just little doodles, and then there's parts at the bottom.
What
I
she
think that's
said.
right.
Heckin' windy.
Heckin' windy.
You are in the
Windy.
plains.
What are you thinking?
I feel like we're staring at a riddle, but some of the words are missing.
A lot of the words are missing. A lot of the words are other words.
Or like a cipher.
Could be.
This message, this entire book seems coded somehow, so maybe there's a cipher that we're missing.
I'm just gonna flip through the book. Does anything like that pop out now that she kind of like, there might be a quote unquote clue to look for? Something very specific?
Not particularly. You do notice that the doodles only seem to start after the happy accident chapter. And apart from the doodles and the chapter titles that were written in a different hand, everything else seems to still be shifting and changing, even with comprehend languages active. There are more words that you are able to read now, but it is still gibberish.
I'm really not sure, Brick. I don't really know.
Thank you for entertaining this train of thought.
Nothing to entertain, essentially. This is... I want to know, too.
Well, like I said, I'm worried. Our adventure started... Well, we met because some being of great power decided to interfere. We are on our path now because another being of great power decided to interfere, going towards what seems like another subject of great power.
I do believe it might be more of a coincidence than not, because I've had this book for a while before I even met all of you.
Oh, I'm not saying the book is connected anyway. I just feel like a piece on a game board getting bounced around between much larger players.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's right around now that you both hear a slight rustling coming from one of the tents behind you, and you see Hamburger waddling out from Pez's tent, stretches his wings, flutters a bit, turns his head towards you, Vanera, waddles up to you, gives your elbow a little nip and kind of tugs and begins waddling away from the campsite, turns and looks back at you. And he gives a little chirping.
You're singing. She's gonna get up and follow. Stay. Watch the camp. I'll holler if I need anything.
Okay.
So you follow Hamburger as he leaves the ring of fire that the campsite is casting, and you follow him for a fair ways. Farther.
She does want to make sure that she's keeping the campsite like in her vision. Like she doesn't want to get too far by herself.
You're able to see it easily enough, especially considering that everything is fairly flat. He leads you far enough away that you can see the light in the distance, and a good shout would reach there. But you're far enough out now that, let me check and make sure, that even with both of the moons in their half phase tonight, you're able to see... your night vision starts to kick into effect. Everything's kind of blues and grays. And eventually, Hamburger...
Doesn't have night vision.
Even without dark vision, you still have that... When you're out in the woods and you've got moonlight, you can kind of see shit. Hamburger goes for a ways and then just suddenly stops and just sits down.
She's gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay, you cast Speak with Animals. You recite the incantation, wiggle your fingers all mystically.
Hamburger, what are we doing?
Waiting for her. As he says this, you see just a little ways in front of Hamburger, a cactus that you hadn't seen before is there. It begins to grow and grow very rapidly.
Oh, God.
It gets to be roughly your height when a flower begins to bloom on the back of it and a face appears in the front. You hear, "Hello, Vanera. I'm so glad you reached out to me." And that's where we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Well, I'm gonna go wild to move.
And we are back. So, when we left off, Hamburger had led Vanera out into the darkness and eventually plopped down where a cactus grew unnaturally fast and essentially became the form that Vanera is so familiar with of Nephili. Except instead of her giant lily as hair, it's a cactus blossom.
Ah.
So, Nephili is there before you. And you've seen cactuses before where they're, big, thick and everything. This is very shapely and is more in the lithe form of your deity. She smiles at you and says, "It was good to hear you reach out to me about a few nights ago. I'm sorry it took so long. And it's a bit difficult to project myself quite this far."
It is a ways. But
So.
I got your little messengers.
I thought you would enjoy them. They are
are very
adorable.
They were very cute.
She sits there for a moment and then she opens her cactus arms out for you, sort of gesturing for a hug.
She runs and gives her a hug.
In most cases, hugging a cactus is a really bad idea, but as soon as you go to make contact, it seems like the needles sink in and no pain. You hug her,
Kills her.
she hugs you back. You all wake up the next morning and Vanera is just skewered to a cactus.
It's
She-
great.
She gives you a hug and she kind of leans her head down onto the top of yours and just squeezes and kind of rocks a little bit. It was so good to hear your voice after so long.
I have questions.
I as
I
well.
don't know.
But
No.
please, what would you like to ask?
Do you know anything about what has happened in Drybell?
She pulls you away a little bit and has a very concerned look about her. I know of it. Coyote has expressed his concerns as well, but neither of us can get a good read. All I can sense is emptiness. There's nothing of mine alive there. It is very disconcerting.
Ooh. The music is cool. Sorry.
Very nice ambiance.
Then, what of Bowler? He appeared.
It is a bit of a bland question. There's much to know about him.
Well, he appeared in one of my companion streams. Or should I say nightmare?
Let me guess, he appeared to your metal friend.
Yes.
It is not surprising. Bola has connections to everything that he's ever had a hand in helping create. Though he is not the one to usually send visions of warning. It's usually visions of creativity and inspiration. Perhaps he is afraid of whatever is in Coyote's territory leaking into his, and he somewhat has a champion of sorts to hear his requests. You intend to go after this, whatever is causing this.
In Drybell?
So I've heard.
We are on the way. But from what I've gathered from Coyote, it is, as you said, empty. And nothing. I don't know how we can deal with nothing and everything all at the same time.
Perhaps I should clarify. When I say there is nothing, right now, I can sense you. I can sense Hamburger. I can sense at least 8 other pairs of eyes watching us from a distance.
She's gonna look around frantically.
You can tell that she doesn't feel threatened, just more a fact of we're in the wild, there's things out here, and they're watching to make sure that you are not coming for them. But I sense nothing. There is nothing alive. I have not felt anything like this in ever.
So this is all new to the gods as well?
It is new to me. It sounds as if it is new to Coyote and Bowler. It has been some time since we have all gotten together and spoken, so of the others, I do not know.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the teleportation circles we saw in Lunawind.
That I cannot answer. I do not know.
On a lighter note, this is new. She's gonna point at her tail.
She kind of leans around, her body creaking a little bit as the fibers stretch. That is most certainly different. You must be maturing for whatever you have become since I found you.
I don't know. We shall see, I suppose.
So, I'd like to note, and she sort of sits down and like kind of crisscross and kind of sits with her hands in her lap. It has been months since you left, and I figured this was a rebellious phase that you weren't wishing to speak to me, and it was very good to hear you reach out to me again. How have you been? What are you doing? What are you... Apart from this depressing endeavor, what are your plans afterwards?
To get my mink back. He stolen in Locust Harbor.
Your mink. She sits for a moment, her eyes close, her head kind of leans from one side to the other. I do not sense him attached to the earth. Perhaps at sea?
Would make sense. We asked some people, and a Hakatari woman mentioned that may have been taken. So it would not surprise me.
If you intend to go by sea, just remember to pay Seto your respects. She is not one to anger.
What does she like? Or how do I pay my respect?
You would be familiar with this with your times traveling across the oceans. Monetary, it could be monetary, it could be food. I'm trying to think of what the word is for libations. Basically, any ship that you've ever been on, sailors and anyone on board cast something over the side, asking Seto for safe passage.
I'll be sure to pay her the highest of respects.
Out of my own curiosity, how do you plan to go there? Are you risking the Broken Isles? Are you traipsing through the Orcish lands? Are you heading northward through Kadal's domain?
I'm not sure. We have a lead on someone named Shirahama and a pirate king of High Tide. I'm not too sure. I believe that was our next plan, but then news of Drybell reached us, and with Rick's nightmare, it became our priority, which we will hopefully have answers. Or find answers.
Well, I am afraid that my time grows short. It is strenuous keeping this connection up for long. Do reach out to me again after your business in Drybell and keep me more up to date than the last few months that you have been silent, if you would.
Okay. Just gonna look around for a second and pull out her journal. How do I read this? Is this a trick?
It is no trick.
Give me a pin or something.
She thinks for a moment. She thinks really hard for a moment, apparently. Of the two who have owned that journal, there is only one who can give permission to read it. And as she finishes saying this, her form begins to shrink down and down. The face disappears. And there's just a small cactus with a little blossom on top of it.
She's gonna pick the blossom.
There's no other reaction.
The music got really loud, and it just suddenly started up again after that.
Oh,
No, it was perfect timing.
okay.
She's gonna pout and kick sand at the cactus and take the blossom and stomp her way back.
Hamburger gets up and follows close at your heels, keeping an eye out for you.
Come on, Hamburger.
Brick, while she was away, you said that there was something that you wanted to do?
Mhm.
Okay.
Thinking about the conversation we just had and Brick's, I guess you could say his world opening up to these new beings of unimaginable power. He's gonna kind of pace back and forth a little bit, look off to where Vanera went, pace back and forth some more, look off some more. And he's gonna look down at the fire. He's gonna think to himself for a moment. And then positioning himself around the fire to where he can see where Vanera was coming from or went towards. He's gonna kind of kneel down and just look in the fire. All right. You claim to be a god. You've given me a nightmare, which I'm not happy about. You seem to be trying to help me. So if you can hear me, please tell me what we're going up against. These companions are all I have, all I know. And if I'm leading them into death, I need to know. So if you had to send me another awful vision, or if you can just speak.
Roll a d20 for me.
Ooh.
12.
12? Okay.
Nightmare.
There's a pop. A crackle. One of the rocks near the edge of the campfire shifts and rolls closer to the flames. It begins to glow as if it's sitting in a white-hot forge. And you see black marks appear, making a shape. You begin to hear a little bit of laughter as the markings become a face in the rock. Sorry about that. Needed to get your attention, though.
It's a rock.
Tough.
Not many of my creations I can speak to, so it was a Bit of a trial run for the both of us, eh?
Am I your creation?
Not specifically mine. Had me hand in it. Helped a little bit here and there. Mostly the dwarf and the turtle doing most of the heavy labor work.
Portal. Thorgeir didn't tell me it was a turtle.
Oh,
Guess I'll have
aye.
to go.
Big old turtle. Bit slow in the footwork. Sharp as a tack, though.
I guess I'll go have to meet that one as well. Well, I guess
To answer your question, though, as I have only a little bit of time, they keep bringing me points. It's a really good benefit to being a dwarven god. And you kind of see the rock kind of lean over and go, "Aye, wait a minute!" Looks back at you. So, to answer your question before, there's a danger. And it's underground in our domain. Inching closer, you were the nearest one that could maybe take a look at it.
so. What the people uncovered, it's or where it is Dwarven,
No. In all truth,
but it isn't.
I don't know who did it.
But it's
It's old.
underground. It's coming for you.
It's underground, it's spreading.
I'll take care of it.
You do that, lad. And if you ever find yourself up in the Dragonfly Reach, give me a holler. Be good to actually see you in person again.
In person again.
The face seems to melt away from the rock as you hear a chuckle fading away as Vanira approaches as you were asking the question.
So I guess Vanira just hears me out loud say, "In person again."
And where, Brick, you kind of hear the... Vanira, you just hear the crackling of the flames.
Is the fire talking back?
He just kind of looks up. I'm really starting to get annoyed at anything that calls itself a god.
Welcome to my world.
Rick kind of just looks at Vanira. Why do I get the feeling we just had very similar encounters?
Hamburger
Yours-
waddles past looking all happy and content, uses his face to flip over the tent flap, scurries in real quick, flap closes behind him.
Did yours end in more questions than answered?
I got my main answer. But yes,
Did Bowler
at least
have an
now I know
answer?
why I'm the one who got the nightmare. And why the dwarven god was so interested.
Nepheli mentioned that Bowler may see you as his champion.
Says we've met in person before, but I don't remember anything before waking up. As far as I know, that was day one for me. Unless...
Is that Mortar?
he's just off on his own. Unless...
I guess so.
Can gods travel through each other's realms other than random manifestations, like as a person, like if they're in disguise?
They'd have to be able to.
That's concerning. Anyway, Borgir says that whatever this thing is that Drybell
Bowler.
uncovered. Sorry, Bowler says whatever this thing is that they uncovered is underground and it's spreading. And he's worried it's going to make its way towards the Dwarven city. So that's why he's so interested.
I suppose that means that we need to get there sooner rather than later. At least you got some information. I felt I didn't have anything.
Did you learn anything or just more questions?
More questions from her.
Hmm.
She said that Drybell is empty. She can't sense anything within it.
From what you've told me, she's a goddess of nature, the earth, plants and animals, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather it be empty than having to worry about evacuating an entire town. Music stop.
Yeah, I'm having issues.
Do you think they're really gods?
I mean, what is a god but a really powerful being that has people believing in them? They had to get that title from something. So,
Touche.
yeah. I think so. Yeah. So were you speaking to the fire, or were you speaking to something else?
I kind of called the dwarf god out. I'll be honest, I was expecting another nightmare. And he just sort of showed up.
The night is still young.
No, don't remind me. He'll probably still do it because he thinks it's funny.
Mortar laughs in the distance.
He knows.
He knows. I know he knows.
Who was taking second watch, by the way?
Yeah. I believe Pez said last, and Zon's going with Pez, so it would be Vanira. I mean, Kazumi, sorry.
Kazumi.
Okay. As you both are still discussing your somewhat helpful, somewhat unhelpful deity visits, Kasumi rouses herself, comes out of the tent, sees the two of you a little concerned, I suppose.
Just full on like sleepy eyed, like rubbing. Hey guys. Anything exciting happen?
Music is really loud.
Rick just looks over at Kazumi. The gods are annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Maybe you can do 3 for 3.
I don't know if annoying would probably be the right word. But so you had an interaction.
Yes. You should see what Sensei has to say.
Ah. I could try. But you guys can get some sleep. I will take it from here.
Vanera goes and sleeps. And she takes her little cactus blossom with her. Puts it in the book. She presses
Sits in
it.
Can't read it. Might
Kasumi's
as well get some use out of it.
Is now
Kasumi's
a bookmark.
still stretching, and I'm assuming the water isn't too far from the camp. Like, I would say maybe about 25 feet.
Yeah, anywhere from 25, 35 feet away.
Okay. So she's going to kind of meander her way over there, and she's going to kind of sit, like, with her legs crossed down by the edge of the water. And she's going to start feeling to see if she can find any, like, small rocks. Anything that is, like, a little bit larger than, like, a $50 sized coin.
Do you have dark vision?
I think I do. Hold on, let me double check.
So while she's checking that, Vanera, I'm assuming you're taking Kasumi's tent, and Brick, where are you kind of shutting down?
By the fire.
Just in one of the
kind of
chairs?
glaring into it.
So you're still in your chair, and you're just staring at that rock that talks shit to you. Got it.
Let me see. Where is it? I do have dark vision.
Okay, then make a straight investigation check.
Okay. Let's see. This is my first roll of the night, so let's see.
Mortar seems to be having a very good hunting night tonight.
Apparently.
Hey, that's a 2.
That's a 2.
Shense's a worm.
You feel like you found something, and you go to pick it up, but it was just a big clump of mud, and it kind of, you're like, oh, I found, and then it just squishes in your hand. You're like, oh, well, ugh, and you wipe your hand on the grass. There are some rocks around, but there's not big ones.
Okay. I can grab a smaller one. It doesn't have to be super big.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're able to find a rock just by fiddling around a little bit.
Okay. So she's going to take the rock, and she's got some string in her kit.
Okay.
And she's going to kind of tie it around the rock to where there's like a long portion at the top. And she's going to sit there and meditate a little, just letting the sounds of just general ambiance and nature of the night kind of calm her while she's trying to make a connection.
Okay.
And she is going to try to ask Shenche some yes and no questions. So basically, she created a on-the-go pendulum.
Okay.
That, so basically what she's trying to do is she's going to ask Shenche a question, and then the rock will move in one direction for a yes, it'll move in one direction for a no.
Okay. Do you have a specified direction for yes and no?
Forward and back is yes, side to side is no. And a circle is maybe, if Shenche doesn't want to give me the answer.
Okay.
So she's
Circle's
just,
cute.
she's just going to sit there and just have her palm underneath it and just sit there and watch it.
Okay.
And so when she's saying it out verbally, Shenche, are there any survivors still at Drybell?
And is this a spell of yours, or are you just sort of praying to her?
Sort of praying. She's
Okay.
trying to use a spiritual technique to connect with Shenche without having to have her visually show up in front of her face.
Okay. Make a religion check for me,
Okay.
because there is technically a spell for this kind of request, but depending on what
Okay.
you roll.
Okay. 14.
14. Okay. So you sit there and you meditate and you pray. What's the question? Oh, the question was, is there anyone alive in there, in the
Yeah.
town?
Are there any survivors at Drybell?
remind me of the directions again?
Front to back is yes, side to side is no, and a circle is maybe.
A tornado is maybe.
Tornado!
The pendant explodes. No.
Uh-oh.
So you sit there for a moment and you're staring at it, and it is dark it is dark.
Mhm.
And a few times you think, did it move? No, that's just my hand. But then, after a few moments, little nudge to the side.
Okay, side to side. That's what I feared. And it's Brick, are you powered down?
He actually has a little bit before he powers down.
Okay. So she's gonna turn back towards Brick and Brick, are you still there?
Yes.
Shenjie told me there are no survivors at Drybell.
I believe Vanira's god said as much as well.
Mm. And she's still gonna kind of sit there and meditate a little. And I think we need to be prepared for anything and everything. Because not simple things can clear out an entire town.
Speaking of, we probably need to ask the group how everyone feels about being underground. I know we were in the mine shaft once, but I don't know how comfortable everyone was with that.
I'm not sure if we'll have much of a choice. But fair enough. Well, I don't want to bug Shenshei too much tonight. She's done quite a lot of communicating, and I sense a lot of energy right now. It's been a very busy night, I guess. But I guess the meditation will be good for all of us. So, and she's going to kind of go back to just sitting cross-legged on the ground with just her palms resting on her knees and just trying to take in the ambiance while being alert.
Brick is actually going to take a break from glaring at the fire and kind of like walk over and like kind of see what she's doing and then try to copy her.
Okay, so you, Kasumi, you are sitting there and you're all zen, comfortable, and you fear just a little, like, thud, thud, boom, as he plants his feet and just thuds down beside you. And you hear his hands, metal fingers clinking over his metal knees as he tries to get himself situated like you are. He kind of looks ahead, doesn't close his eyes, he just sort of stares out across the water.
She does, like, the whole ear twitches, like, towards him, and, like, the little, like, side peek. Are you trying to meditate?
Well, is that what we're doing?
Yes, although it might be difficult for you, because the concept is to clear your mind and thoughts, and just let the natural energy take over, to calm yourself.
Purging Win 32.
Deleting trash.
Empty recycle
Control
bin.
Alt Delete.
Empty recycle bin. There you go.
Well, I would like to try.
You can absolutely try. It takes some
You
time
are-
getting used to.
You are the only one else in this group who is not technically mortal.
Mm. Yeah. I feel like you and I have a lot in common.
Mostly in our confusion.
Confusion is inevitable in the mortal world.
They have
It's exciting,
very...
though.
It is exciting. They have some very strange... I don't know how to put them other than traditions or
Mm,
thought processes.
I agree. Some of them are quite fun. Some I don't think I'll ever quite understand. But
The house with ladies was strange.
that's one of those I'll never truly understand. They have some sort of primal urge.
Primal urge. You mean coitus?
Mhm. Think of it like animals that have a natural instinct to do something.
Yes, mating.
Yes.
That's what that was?
Yes, but more for fun.
It, I,
Yeah, so not, if I understand what they have explained, it's not for the purpose of recreating.
that's the entire purpose of it.
But no, but when they're doing it in excessive, it's for fun.
There's nothing in my databanks about this.
That's okay, I can't procreate anyways, so
As said 50 days. I have circumvented the system.
but that
I'm-
is one I will never truly understand.
Are you telling me people fuck for fun? Stop laying on my keyboard.
There's no better word than baffled.
Mm.
Mortals are very strange.
At least I know I have someone that I can laugh with when we are both sitting there confused about what's going on.
We should play a prank on them next time.
What kind of prank?
That worked so well for Pez.
I don't know.
Oh, so serious.
We should. I don't know. I need to think on this.
Yes, I think you should take some time to think about that one.
We should. I now desire to befuddle them the same way we have also been baffled.
I feel like that would take a lot of effort.
Be fun.
I think you should take some time to think up a plan and then we'll discuss it. But first, let's try to clear our minds. Um,
Um.
Rick does his best to try to mimic the humming sound, but it kind of sounds more like a gear
Reverberate?
shift grinding.
um,
He'll figure it out eventually.
Brick, I appreciate the effort, but please stop.
So you sit there for a few moments in relative silence, and the next time you peek up to look at him, his eyes have done that thing where they sort of dim, and you know that he's in his like knockout mode. So
It worked.
so the rest of the shift is yours if there's anything you would like to do with relative quiet and no interruptions.
She's just gonna spend the rest of that time just meditating and being aware of any unfamiliar sounds if she can hear them.
You do hear quite a few animal noises, but they all seem very distant and don't seem to be wanting to get very close to the source of the fire.
That's a lie. There's a fucking cuckoo clock above my head.
That is Mortar, and he is hunting. You let him be the best owl he can be. My man! So the rest of your watch goes with relative ease. It's nice and quiet. As it's approaching the end of your shift and you stand up and you brush off the back of your kimono, you turn to walk back towards camp and go, he's stuck there now. Probably maybe want to let the next shift know that he's over here.
Yeah, so I'll walk back. And then, so are you both are you guys in the tents?
I am.
I am laying on the side of a dead Anarchus.
Oh, that's right. So she's gonna walk over to Zahn and she's just gonna like pat him on his head. Wake up!
Wake up!
Grab your hand very quickly.
So
Or your wrist.
after the first tap, your hand's coming up for a second, and it's already grabbed.
It's time to wake up.
I am a
Oh.
Vic.
By the way, Brick's over by the water.
Why is Brick over by the water?
He was meditating. All right, I'm going to bed.
Can I do anything about that?
Oh no.
I can technically do something about that.
You
He might have to dry off more afterwards. though.
Just shove him to the bottom of the water.
Control water. I can technically turn that little pool into a whirlpool.
Wait,
I
wake
mean,
me up!
if you want to waste your spell slots at...
Fuck no.
Okay.
How much does Brick weigh?
Yes.
A lot.
That answers no question I just asked.
How much do I?
Does
Pez,
he
are you in
weigh
the tent?
over 480 pounds?
I'm close.
Okay.
Uh,
I just heard close. It's all I needed to hear.
As are you
Right
in the
now.
tent?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in and wake you up too. I'm gonna walk in and wake you up too.
Oh,
And pat, pat, pat. Wake up!
Yeah, I weigh like 500 something.
you
It's
weigh
time to wake up.
375.
Plus carry
okay.
weight.
Oh,
And Brick's
right.
by the water.
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
Yep.
All right.
I will go
Clarification that I
fly.
heard what I heard. Checks out. Moving on.
This is a simple lizard.
Come over here and help me move the metal log over to the fire. We will be dragging him. I will not carry him.
Yeah, do you see my arms and how much like sticks they are?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you beat me in an arm wrestling battle? It means you have no excuse anymore. Get your ass over here.
You know, you should say that again. I really enjoyed that.
You are welcome to a rematch at any time.
Tempting offer.
Now get over here and help me.
Okay, fine.
Be quiet so we don't wake anybody up.
All right.
You notice after a moment that Hamburger isn't following you. He's kind of waddled out of the tent, saw you, and just sort of like face first into the dirt. Then the rest of his body follows after, and he just gets knocked out again. Hamburger's tired.
God.
We'll drag Brick over to the campfire.
Why?
Okay.
Read it.
It's fairly easy to find handholds because he's kind of got his arms out on his knees, so you're able to get under the armpits pretty easily. But Zahn, you've had to deal with this before. I don't know about Pez, but rigor mortis is a bitch, and that's basically what Brick is. He's basically become a statue. So you grab him and just nothing moves. You literally lean him back on his butt, and you just are dragging a crisscross statue.
Thank you for the help.
Yeah, between the two of you and his pack and all, it'll take you a minute or two, and you're gonna leave a really good trench from his ass. But yeah, you're able to drag him closer to the fire.
Hey, Pez, do you want to bury him up to his head?
You know, okay. I there's a line. I ain't crossing that line.
You don't have to help. I could do it myself.
I mean, you can go for it. I'll keep watch if you
How
want.
long do I have to do this?
About
4
4
hours?
hours.
4 hours.
Roll to be a dick. Nope, I'm actually not going to be a dick.
You really, really consider it.
I rolled a
And
natural
you
one,
think-
so-
You're thinking, I just started my day. I'm going to get sweaty and tired. Maybe tonight.
Just cleaned myself. Not fun.
I got a long rest, right?
Yes.
Thank God I'm no longer bleeding out.
Good. I will plop my fluffy butt next to Pez.
Is there anything you two would like to do during your watch?
Pez, I have a dilemma.
Oh God. Oh yes. What is it? Yes.
What was that again?
Oh, nothing. Oh, I was just picking out this bug. You want it?
No, 9.
Okay.
Much, crunch,
Wunderbar.
crunch.
I want to name the dynamic, but I have the dilemma. For my name is Zon,
Right.
and I've thought about naming it Tooth. But in my tongue, that would also make his name Zon.
A bit egotistical.
Well, no, it's spelled differently, but kind of sounds almost identical. Zon is me, and Zon with an O would be his name.
Okay.
So I
So-
could also name him Toad, which is death.
Interesting. I like how you come to me, who named their little raptor hamburger. So very good idea to do that.
I'm regretting this decision more and more.
I don't know why you even came to me, but you know that's not a bad idea. The only question I have is there any reason why you came up with that there name?
Well, in my culture, we do not usually acknowledge one as a warrior until that warrior's prowess is shown. And since this was the first time I witnessed the Deinonychus actually kill things quite effectively, I think it would be time to bestow upon a name.
I mean,
Why don't y'all just ask it what its name is?
It's
asleep, and I
don't want to be a dick.
Ask it in the morning.
I mean, yeah, we can go with your idea, but a little tiny voice in the back of my smooth lizard brain is telling me to maybe we can ask its name if it had a name.
That is a good point.
I just love how the guy who pillages for fun. I don't want to be a dick.
What is making that sound?
I think it's Brick's owl. I'm about to shoot the fuck out of it because it kept me up all night long.
Oh, I would love to see that. I would love to see that so much.
I mean, you wanna help me look for it?
Oh, yes. I'm going to actively help look for it. With my ridiculously high perception.
Do either of you? I know Pez has dark vision. Do you have dark visions on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
I'm going to be very inconspicuous about this, too. So that the owl
I don't-
doesn't
God,
maybe
not
notice.
Mortar. I had to waste fucking materials
so close
again
to
for
natural
this
20.
shit.
We might not find him. Who knows? It's a dice game.
Zon, I don't believe you have dark vision.
Oh, well, I did. I guess I don't anymore, huh?
Yeah, you don't have dark vision, so you can make a perception
Oh,
check
yeah.
at disadvantage.
Okay.
Pez, you can
I
make a
mean,
regular perception check.
Oh
I rolled a 7.
What's a 9 plus
7.
8?
I have to make
16.
a stealth roll for my damn owl.
16.
16? Yeah, make a stealth roll for your owl because it is flying around silently. Well, the physical aspect of flying is silent. The hooting, not so much.
Okay. Okay, stealth is +3. We'll see how this goes. Not well, and it's a 9.
You're not able to hear it and see it at first, but since it has been calling out quite a bit, you're eventually able to zero in, and you see a star flicker for a second. You're like, there. And then you now
Thanks.
see the black shape circling around the camp.
Wait, Pez, won't we wake them up if you shoot it?
You know, that is a good point. How about this? Okay, how about this?
Okay.
We'll lie low.
Okay.
Get like real low. And then When
Yeah,
it's
hello?
time for everyone else to wake up,
Okay.
shoot it. We can cook it up, and we can all have owl for breakfast.
That would be problematic because it turns into magic smoke.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it doesn't actually die. It turns into magic smoke.
Oh. Well, here I thought it was a frickin'.
Yeah, technically it is an owl, but it's also made of magic energy.
You know what?
Here, why don't you use this? Zon's gonna pop some fuzz off of him and plug Pez's ears.
This is nice. I like this.
I'm gonna pop it out. I am very soft and pop it back in.
Okay. Is there anything
And,
else you would like to do for your watch?
I'm gonna lean back against my Deinonychus, just stroke the soft feathers as I pay attention to things around me the best that I can.
Okay. Going to fast forward here just a little bit. Daybreak does arrive. Brick, you find yourself in a new position as you reactivate yourself. Kasumi,
Can I say
Vanera-
that Can I say I was expecting to wake up near the pool and not paying attention? I get up, stretch, and then like fall forward, expecting to go into the water, just right into the ground.
Make a dexterity check
Okay.
as Kasumi and Vanera are beginning to stir inside their tent.
That's a 10.
Nice.
10. So you think that the water is there, and you don't really check because you're very confident that no one's going to fuck with you throughout the night. But as you tip forward, you feel your shin bump against something, and you realize it's the chair. And you sort of flounder, waving your arms around, and you land on your side, trying not to break the furniture. But the rest of you hear a clattering, chair gets knocked over.
Zon laughing. Zon just like...
Brick just like steps up and looks around, very confused.
Is everything okay, Brick?
Good morning.
I moved.
Good morning, Kasumi. No, you were sitting there all night.
You moved?
And he just slowly turns and looks at Zon.
Don's still laying on the Deinonychus, looking completely and totally oblivious, like he has no idea what's going on.
Can we still see the trailed crater from the water?
Yeah, none of them hit it, so there's a pretty decent divot line from point A to point B. It's pretty noticeable.
That's a nice morning.
He just happened
on.
to appear by the fire.
Okay, first off, it was way too heavy for me to lift alone. And you think Pez is going to help me? What's that? Pez is tiny and weakly.
He's the arm wrestling champion.
Yes, but that does not mean he can lift you. Pez, go lift him.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, that's... After saying this, I'm like, oh, he go pops fur out of his ears.
You just shove your butt fluff in his ears.
It did not come off my butt, but yes. I'm gonna offer it to Vera. It is very soft. You should try touching it.
I'm good, thank you.
You cannot hear a fly fart with those in.
Mm-hmm.
And this was
Good
the guy that
to
was
know.
helping keep watch.
I'm glad that our safety is the #1 priority for you.
Ah,
Yeah, of
yes.
course.
I was awake the whole time.
Brick is already just moving on and just saddling the dinos. It's like,
Oh, yeah, that owl needs to stop now because it's not...
Yeah, because I will shoot it.
Warner, shut up!
Thank you.
Kasumi's gonna go up to Vanera. Brick told me you had contact with your deity last night.
Yes.
Oh.
How did that go?
No real new information. Kind of told us what we already knew.
Okay.
That
I-
sucks.
I reached out to Shinsei. and I know it's not a way it works super often, but she confirmed that there are no survivors. And I think he said that's what your deity said too.
Yeah. The Nepheli can't feel anything.
Pretty morbid.
And we're a few days out.
What are we waiting for?
It's already saddled up. I don't know. What are we waiting for?
I mean, I guess there's no rush.
There actually is at this point.
Why? What are we going to stop? Was already dead.
I mean, is Neil Peart over there?
Boulder visited me last night after I kind of provoked him.
How could you?
What? He gave me a nightmare.
He's getting in touch with his spiritual side, and you don't judge him.
He's talking to the wrong god.
How was he talking to the wrong god?
People don't always get to pick who they worship or who they're connected to.
Even
Actually, for part of that, they actually do. Unless you're a fucking idiot.
Not well, you can choose who you want to worship, but it doesn't mean that you have a connection with that.
And how did you talk to said god?
He appeared in the fire.
And how did he do that? Did you ask him to appear?
Yes, but I was expecting another
So
nightmare.
you asked the god that's not your father's god.
I'm sorry, grandmother didn't send me a dadgum vision.
Oh yes, I'm sorry that she didn't send you something that made you draw on all the walls.
I wanted answers, and I got them. Sort of.
Fine.
And this is why I don't believe in any of those tomfoolery.
Well, it's hard to not believe in your mother, but I mean, yeah.
Oh, I believe in my mother.
Oh,
She's dead.
It's okay, Pez. I'm still not sure they're gods.
Jesus Christ. It's more and more morbid. Although I do help with that a lot of times. Not a big deal.
So a god reached out to Brick, proving that he at least had some sort of connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then
We'd be having this conversation while we're going.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
She saddles up Kiwi
So-
and
You're having this conversation as everything's getting packed up and saddled, the campsite into the bag, and that's around the time when Kasumi is like, he can believe who he wants to believe, and shoulders it
Yeah.
angrily, and Fox forms up onto
Come
Kiwi.
on,
and just...
guys.
So yes, I will say that you are traveling at this point, and for the sake of time, we are going to fast forward through 2 days. So as you all are going through this discussion, just keep in mind that 2 days are going to be passing
Okay.
throughout this.
This is a 2-day-long argument.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, we are having a
Yeah,
2-day-long
that's why I'm just like,
argument and I will not lose.
2 days are passing. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Felly even said
Mhm.
that Polar may see Brick as his champion. So
Yeah,
Okay.
he said we had met before, but I don't
You've
remember.
Been cheating on me.
Why would he cheat on his father?
Oh, sorry. You've been cheating on your grandmother.
Why would he?
That's even weirder.
That's worse. You're making this weird.
9. You are making this weird.
So I have a question.
Yes.
For whom?
Is Kiwi big enough for me to be in human form and
yes.
Vanera be honored?
Could be.
Very
Yeah,
easily.
Okay.
Huge.
It's a hadrosaur. It's big.
So this
Be
argument's
dead.
going to continue. Kazumi's going to shapeshift into human form, side saddle with her legs crossed, just her hand out. Are we still arguing about this?
Real quick
Arguing
question:
about
do you
what?
normally sit in Vanera's lap when you're in fox form, or are you
I
behind?
usually
'Cause
sit
I'm-
like right in front of her.
Okay, so
So,
you're
like-
there normally, and then all of a sudden, she's just like there.
Yeah.
Grab onto her. Hold on to the right side. Warn me next time, please.
Vanilla, watch out! It's a fat ass in your way.
Listen, I can't just sit here and let this continue without my
Actually,
input.
Just
Actually, you
tails.
can.
Don't make. Please.
Fine. fine. And she grabs her tail and puts him in her lap.
This is
Now
fantastic.
She's sitting side saddle, so they're off to the side. Listen, okay. People can choose to worship whichever deity they want to, but that doesn't mean that deity's going to have a connection. You can worship a god for all of your life, but that god might not ever say a word to you.
Actually, realistically, most people don't hear words from their gods. It's like
Exactly.
a large percentage of the population.
You just proved our point.
Yeah.
Yes, but the difference is one of those people who they talk to is, mother. Are you okay?
My God!
He's
Zod!
not getting it.
Also, you see
It's
Brick
your
kind of like
mother, not his mother.
That makes it his grandmother.
No.
Oh, I guess it.
If
Sorry,
he has
Brick.
a
Is they all
connection
said that you're not my
before-
son anymore?
Did Rick come out of your loins?
Can you prove that he didn't?
Just a bolt.
yes.
I can prove that. He was in a box.
Oh, okay.
Were you a kidney stone and you just kind of grew?
It's a whole ass bolt.
Let's not talk about that because kidney stones are usually exited through the body one way, and we're not going to get into that.
That's what I'm asking!
Um,
The fruits of your loins? Like a kidney stone and you just...
No,
Hear that,
kidney
Brick?
kidney bolt. Kidney bolt.
Here's that, Brick. They're calling you a tumor for the most part.
Brick is not even paying attention to the conversation more. He's doing that little thing with his fingers where he's like counting in the air.
Oh, Pez, actually, I forgot to ask you. Can you talk to my Deinonychus for me?
Oh yeah, I've already been doing that. I've been ignoring all y'all.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Because
Sorry, I'm
you've
currently
literally
trying
been
to figure
hearing from all of your dinosaurs, like, I don't know what their problem is. Nephili and Coyote are the best. They do everything for us. Why is this conversation still going?
Brick is actually currently trying to figure out the odds of 4 people who talk to gods. Not only talk to gods, talk to 4 different gods being in the same vicinity this much together.
Did the Deinonychus have a name?
I asked. So,
DM.
does
I know,
Damn,
I'm
this is-
thinking, shut up.
Gotta think on the fly, man. I had to do this.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of how I want to go about this.
Take my name, it's the best.
Tempting, but I can't work that in logically.
God damn it.
I'm also trying to remember the voice I had.
It was a
Uh,
guy. I
a
think.
little bit hissy.
Yeah.
The last master called me Fang. Not exactly attached to it. It's all right.
There's
What is happening? What am I missing?
Martyr's at it again.
God damn it.
Oh,
Martyr, I
wait.
love you. Mwah.
now I need to get that face on a Deinonychus. Just for the thumbnail.
So do you relay any of this to me, or am I just because I have no fucking clue what you say?
You hear Pez kind of, and the Deinonychus replies in kind.
He doesn't really like his current name. He could live with or without it, but it was a thing.
I can see why.
Heh.
Ask him if he would be okay with Toad,
Fog.
and tell him that it means death in my language.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can understand him, but what do you think of that name? It means death.
I am not a frog.
True. You're a bit bigger than Frog. He doesn't like that name. He's not Frog.
I mean, technically.
Brick's just like, technically a toad's not a frog.
You're
You know
arguing
what?
logic with a raptor.
Rick is that kind of person.
I will slap you with my tail. My broken tail in 50 places.
I mean, I can always call you Toos, which would be Zahn.
Are you gonna name your Deinonychus after yourself?
It's actually different. It just sounds really fucking close to the same.
Not really close.
No.
It's exactly
Toos-
the same name.
No, Toos is spelled Z-A-H-N. My name is spelled Z-A-A-N. So his is Zon with an O, and I am Zon with an A. The look
He's
on
gonna
video.
kick Kiwi. Come on, Kiwi. We don't have time for this tomfoolery.
You hear a rumbling, and it starts to pick up speed.
What did I hear?
It's a miracle I was named at all.
There could have been much worse names, I promise.
I remember.
Anyway, how about this? Why don't you, Mr. Deinonychus, how about you come up with like 3 names, and then I'll tell your rider to come up with 3 names, and then we'll decide from there.
You hear an exasperated kind of sound, and Zahn, even you feel your mount shaking underneath you, kind of whipping its head around. She's calling me Fang.
All right. His name is Fang.
Wunderbar.
Can I look at my other book, one of many, and see if the little dragon thing has come back yet?
Oh, the Book of Sending, right. I was like, I know you have a lot of books. Which one is she talking about? Got it. No, the dragon is still not on the cover.
Okay. Are we there
this
yet?
This has been a long 2 days.
Listen, all I know is I have won an amazing argument, and we are almost there.
So we will say that argument took up most of your first day, and through the second day, if there's anything else that you want to discuss before... No? Cool. Partway through the second day, you do hear I'm trying to think of how best to say it. You hear kind of an arcane sparkling. You look back at your book, and the dragon is back there. And tucked into the front book, you can see it's like if you ripped the page out and you stuck it in and shoved it closed, the page has been sent back.
Oh! Assume we take the reins.
Okay. I've never done this. Okay.
Okay.
Take some from my hands.
Like, very hesitantly, just holding him like this.
Thankfully, since you're in a bit of a caravan, and Pez and Brick generally take the lead, Kiwi is mostly just following along. So you realize that, like, after maybe, like, a few seconds of it's like, oh, I don't have to do anything. This is great!
Okay.
You're doing a fantastic job, Kasumi.
So,
Someone send back a note.
let me clear my throat and try to get my Canlin voice.
Just wheel and you'll get into it. You gotta do the arm clap.
So as you're reading, you see in very, very loopy handwriting, not quite cursive, but very pretty at the same time. All we know is not to go there because it's, and in all capitals, super dangerous. Don't go there. Very bad. Really glad to hear you're all okay. I miss my family lots too. They make you fat if you're not careful. I also miss you guys a lot. The pocket bacon was the best idea ever. Still use it. It's awesome. I heard you guys call yourselves the Tempests now. It's really, really cool. Amanda was really embarrassed. She was blushing. She thinks that you guys named yourself after her. And we also heard that you took down the Duke. Wow! You guys are gonna have to come back so we can celebrate with lots of bacon. Love, Canlin.
Oh.
This is my future wife.
Oh.
She's gonna relay all of that.
Oh, that is adorable. You will have such cute kids.
We also have to make sure Amanda knows we did name ourselves after her inn.
We did?
Mhm.
That was one of the deciding factors, yes.
Mhm.
Oh, I guess so.
Oh, Canlin.
She's nice. I like her.
She is.
Pink.
So
Soft.
whatever kicked Drybell's ass, you have to make sure that it doesn't make its way over to Luna Wind.
Mhm.
Well, I say we kill it all. Oh look, what's that in the distance?
Father, I think this will be one of the only times no one has any objection to you burning everything to the ground.
Are you sure? I was waiting for this day. I'm so happy it's come.
You look back, and somehow he's already got 2 armfuls of torches, and he's just like, I have 1 for everybody! I have 2 for everybody!
It's like 7 for me.
So towards the end of the day, the sun is decently high in the sky. You can guess that it's maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon when you see the mesa in the distance that is the town of Drybell. You guys are approaching, getting closer and closer. Do you want to go ahead and approach the town? Would you like to stay outside the town for the evening? How do you want to approach this?
Well, real quick. We know that the town is kind of poisoned, right?
Most likely.
So I have this here plague doctor mask.
I'm gonna put it over my head.
And I think that we should hey Brick, how about you and I go scout ahead? Since I mean,
Does
you
that
don't
make
breathe.
you resistant or immune?
Inventory. Breathe a mask. While wearing this mask, you are immune to the effects of inhaled poisons.
As far as I can tell, looking over my diagnostics, I am resistant to poison, but not immune. I can try to hold my breath to make that better, but no guarantees.
I mean, again, it's up to you. Wait.
I'm willing to risk it.
All right.
We have a cleric.
Guys, take these. Hand them both a torch. Dangerous goes out.
Fair enough. First things first, though, I'm going to send Mortar for an aerial view.
Okay.
Just to recap, I think the plan is make camp outside for the evening. We're going to go on a scouting mission and come back, and then we'll go all in the morning, if everything's okay.
Yes, I'll be here all alone.
That
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, hold on. Can I do something to Mortar real quick?
By all means.
I ain't gonna do that yet. Where is it? There it is. Hey Mortar, are you willing? I want to touch you. Not like that. Not like that.
I just
I'm going
just
to.
pat him on the head. He's weird, but it's fine.
I'm going to use Beast Sense on it.
What does that do?
With Beast Sense, you touch a willing beast. For the duration of the spell, you can use your action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and you continue to do so until you decide not to. While perceiving through the beast's senses, you gain the benefits of any special senses possessed by the creature. So I'm just looking through its eyes. What Brick is. Does that
It's
work?
not
So
technically
it's
a
not-
beast.
Yeah, it's technically a celestial. I think that's what I chose.
Heck. Alright, then never mind.
You said it's a celestial?
Yeah,
Well,
familiar
fey,
can
fiend, or
be
celestial.
a
I
fiend
could-
or celestial.
I can talk to it.
You know celestial?
Yes!
Hey, so do I! Yay!
Well, it's a celestial, but it doesn't have any languages.
Oh, okay.
Even as a familiar, it still only speaks animal.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it's getting creepy, but
Well,
I mean, welcome to
Mortar's gonna go
Drybell.
for his flyover, and I'm gonna eyes white.
okay. So you're staying at the camp while they're setting everything up and sending Mortar out, or
Mhm.
okay. So you send Mortar out. He flies overhead. Make a perception check with Mortar's senses.
All right, I get advantage on this. Don't. Oh no. Oh, okay. That's all right. Glad I had advantage. That's gonna be a 13. No, sorry, 14. 14.
14. So Mortar goes flying out ahead, and you're kind of standing there holding on to the side of Juniper just for a sense of where you are, kind of balance sort of thing. And flying out. It's a decent ways away still. You fly overhead. There's no movement that you can see whatsoever. The buildings are still destroyed. They're covered in plant life. You don't see quite the same fungi that you had seen in your vision. There does seem to be moss and the like. But otherwise, it's just old broken wood, dusty streets. And you can see where the winds have pushed dirt and sand up against the building frames, on the walkways, the porches, because no one's been there to sweep them off.
Mortar's gonna go all the way to the cave.
He sees the exact same thing all the way towards the cave. There's no movement. There's no life.
I'll snap him out and then snap him back in on my shoulder, and look at him and say, "Thank you, good job. I'm gonna have you safe for this one," and snap him back out.
I know this is normally bad, but depending on what you guys find, it might actually be good to burn a lot of this. It will get rid of most of the spores.
Well, from what I could see when Mortar flew over, most of the fungi that I saw in my vision wasn't present. It could be hiding.
Can I do something?
What would you like to do?
Yes,
I
what would you like to do?
would like to get. Where the fuck did it go?
I hate it.
I would like to.
Rage.
Yes.
You multi-classed and no one knew.
You don't know yet.
No.
You don't know yet. I would like to get within a safe distance, within at least 30 feet of moss or plant.
Okay, so in that case, you, Pez, and I are all going towards the town because we're
Sure.
a ways away from it.
Well, that depends on how far away you're setting up your camp. Is it going to be like a couple hundred feet, or like
100
how
should be
close are you
fine.
wanting to be camped to this?
I would say like a mile.
A safe distance away.
So a quarter mile, half mile?
I'd say half
I would
mile.
say half
Okay.
mile.
Then you would definitely need to be closer. You would need to go with them.
Yes, I
Yeah.
would like to.
Okay. So then it's just Kasumi and Zan who are staying at the campsite?
So lonely. Quick,
Kasumi.
Fang, come here and hug me.
I am
Shockingly,
staying back, okay?
Fang actually comes up to you and kind of, how best to put it? You know how swans like wrap their neck around to hug you?
Yes.
Kind of does a little bit of that.
I'm going to pet him happily. Okay.
Did us three want to take my Allosaurus, Juniper? Or are we going in on foot?
Let's go in on
stealth
foot. Best not to risk any more than we have to.
She is gonna cast pass without a trace then.
Okay. Uh,
Clang, clang, clang.
so, as you're walking up there, are you going stealthy the whole way, or are you going to go stealth once you get closer?
Go stealthy the whole way.
Like, what's the terrain? Are there bushes and rocks and cacti?
There's a lot of scrub brush. There's the occasional decent-sized rock that you don't want to stub your toe on. There's not a whole lot in the way of things to hide behind. But if you stay low, then you would think that at a distance you may be able to blend in with some of the shrubbery and the
Okay.
lower.
It'll take us a
bushes.
while, but I guess we'll go stealth.
If something is underground, the last thing I wanted to do is hear us approach.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Graboids.
All right. Then I need all three of you to make stealth checks. Keep in
guys
mind,
get
paths without a
advantage.
trace. Paths without a trace is not advantage. You add 10 to your roll.
I have disadvantage. Oh no!
Where's my stealth? I'm gonna roll this in person.
Those are not good sounds.
Hmm.
What did you guys get? What? 13? Yep. Okay.
16.
Uh-huh.
34.
Gone.
So,
Heck, Asumi, why can I only see two of them up there?
yeah, so, Brick, you try to be stealthy. You try to match what you saw Pez start to do and what Vanira's kind of sort of doing. She's also very bright. You're going along and you trip and you kind of catch yourself and you go and you're like, where the fuck did Pez go? Like you see Vanira because she's like right beside you, but Pez is just like dog in a corn maze. Like you say Pez and it's like, yeah.
Just want to make sure I knew where you were.
Gone again. So
That's terrifying.
with those stealth rolls, it is going to take you a little bit longer to get there. It's going to be about 30 to an hour of you carefully picking your way along, trying not to make too much noise. The sun is beginning to dip behind the mesa at this point, and the mountain range to your left, or the lower hills to your left, not a mountain range. You all approach Drybell. You kind of go up the front ramp towards. Well, actually, that's a question. Do you want to go up the front ramp to where the train station is, or do you want to go and try to scale up the side of the mesa?
Well,
How tall's the mesa?
Vanira, what was
It's
your
a couple
plan?
hundred feet.
I wish to speak to a plant.
Then we'll go to the nearest plant, which I believe would be at the train station.
By
Whichever-
plant, you mean like?
The growth. Like,
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Because I was gonna say there's plenty of scrub brushes around to talk to if that you just want to talk to a plant.
No. Very specific to the
Okay.
grossness.
So you walk up towards the Dragonfly railway station, and you see that this place also looks very dilapidated. The kind of place that maybe hasn't been lived in years, but you know that it's only been maybe a month since you guys have been here. It shouldn't be this degraded. The sun is still on the horizon, and you're still able to see there's long shadows. But you go up, there's a bit of moss, and you see little, like, flecks of red. But they're very, very small. So, you wanted to cast a spell. What was the spell and what on?
It's speak with plants. It's from my woodland staff. I can be 30 feet away from it, so I don't have to be right up on.
Okay, so you cast Speak with Plants, and you're targeting the moss?
Yeah, whatever looks the most suspicious. Like plant-wise.
Okay, for the moment you see the moss. What are you saying?
What happened? Or, hello, my name is Vanira. I've come to Drybell to see what happened. Do you recall anything?
Oh, you're talking to me? Oh,
Yes. Hello?
hello.
I don't know why I'm waving, it's a plant.
I was gonna say.
It shimmies.
As your fan keeps brocking.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Do I need to repeat what I asked?
Hi.
Do you know what happened here?
Just creeping, growing.
Creeping and growing? How long have you been creeping and growing?
Long time. Try a bunch. Get taken off. Now I've been going long time. I'm big.
Is this... She gestures to everything. Is this all you?
No. No, that one up above me's Vin.
So you're all different?
I
Do
think
you know
so.
how... Do you know how many days or nights have passed since you've been here? Or moons? How many
Lots.
moons or...
Oh, there's two. There's two.
How? Guys, do you have any questions? I don't know what else to
Are you
ask.
relaying any of this?
Yes.
Okay, hearing all of that, Brick is going to immediately start casting Identify on the building. And he's not looking for any... He doesn't think it's a magic building. He's looking to see if any magic has affected the building. If that is something I can use that for.
I would say the best hint that you get is the room where the railway attendant stays. You kind of get a strong hint of magic being in that room. That there's kind of magic has been in that room for so long that it kind of seeped into the wood, but it doesn't seem to be spreading, and you don't really sense it anywhere else.
So there's not a... So there's not a specific... Because Identify will also let you know the school of magic if it's affecting anything. So there's not a school of magic affecting the building or the surrounding area.
You catch a whiff of divination, and you would put two and two together that with all the sending scrolls that they have access to and that they have stockpiled in that room, that's the kind of magic that's sort of like soaked into the wood over years and years and years of just having those magic scrolls in that one space.
Well, there went my theory.
Is there anything that you can tell us about the town?
Been quiet for a while. Real quiet. Except at night, things kind of move around a bit.
Do you know what? I'm just looking at your face, Brick. Do you know what moves around at night?
No.
Well, does something come out and stomp on your brothers and sisters or your relatives?
I only ever really talk to Vin. He's above me. I'm on a wall. Like, he can't really step on a wall.
Do I have to recast again if I want to talk to something, or am I able to talk to any plant that is...
Pretty much any plant. You just haven't spoken to Vin yet.
Oh. Well then,
Hiya.
have you sensed anything that happens at night? Do you
Well,
know what's going on?
like Chuck said, things move around. Just kind of make noises.
Does it hurt you?
No, we're on a wall. They don't step on us. Yeah, he's right. Can't really walk on a wall. Silly.
I love them.
You goober.
Is there any more... you goober. Are there any more, like, without going into the town? Any on the ground?
You don't see
just
too
don't
much on
wanna,
the
like-
ground. Most of the moss seems to be on the wall, spilling through the cracks.
Any of those special flowers, though?
Special
weird.
flowers.
Weird flowers. I thought, wasn't there weird things that?
There were little red flecks that you could see. They weren't. They were like really, really, really small, almost like they were kind of dried on.
Are they plants?
Make an investigation check. It's also
15?
Sirenscape is being really weird. I have not clicked whatever's making this noise, but it's really ominous and I love it.
Yeah, I do too. 15.
You get up real close. You see, it seems to be old dried blood that hasn't quite completely flaked off yet.
Looking around some more, do we see it in a lot more places?
Make another investigation check, because you're still currently only at the railway station.
14. 14.
Yeah, sorry, I heard that, but I wasn't sure if she was going to add to your query or not.
Yes.
Brick, you do see some, but it looks like either the moss has started to grow over it, or it's so old and dried up that it is just completely flaked off. But there's no, like, massive pools, and you're too far away from the buildings in the town to really be able to see anything.
Am I able to cast, because the Speak with Plants is like an action, am I able to cast Detect Evil and Good? Because it's not taking up concentration.
Let me check real quick to make sure I'm not lying to you. Where's your speak with plants? It is not
lower.
concentration. It lasts for 10 minutes. Cool. And then you're looking for detect good and evil.
Yeah, Detect Evil and Good. It's a first level spell. It's an at-will spell.
Okay. This is the first time that you've cast it. The first time that you've cast anything. That you were overwhelmed by a primal sense of dread. It is everywhere around you.
It's getting dark, right?
It is getting dark.
Pez, do you see anything moving in the town?
What is it that my cobalt eyes see?
He's the only one that has dark vision.
Tell us with your special eyes.
Make a perception check.
My brand! Pez is on brand!
Wait, hold on.
Screws on his other goggles.
Okay.
The magnification.
The Cobalt Consortium must make goggles now.
Oh, we will. I have a full product line. 24.
24.
Almost
So
net 20.
you peer into the town. You're still a decent ways away, but your cobalt vision, now that the sun is dimming down, and you have your hat on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hat and mask.
You see in the distance where before the walls were just wood and kind of moss, you're seeing more bits of red. They seem to be bigger. You think, that's kind of weird. You look back at the train station, and you realize that the side that you're talking to is still in the sunlight. You kind of go around to the back side where it's shadow. You hadn't seen it before. You swear you hadn't seen it before. But in the shadowy parts, there seem to be mushrooms growing. Red caps. And they seem to be growing fairly quickly.
Do I see this too? Or does he point it out?
We might have some interesting things growing over there. Looks like mushrooms, big mushrooms. In the dark.
Rick's gonna move around and see this.
After what Vanera felt, she's gonna grab him.
No.
She fucking.
No, if you reach out for one, Brick just shoots out and grabs your hand.
No, not the mushrooms, you guys.
Yeah, I was about to say,
No,
get back to the bushes.
As soon as you go and round the corner where the building is in shadow, it is starting, like, where the edge of the building is and the sun is, they're small, bigger, the darker it gets.
Yeah,
She's like,
we start going
smacks
back to
on
the bushes,
Brick.
back to the
We gotta
bushes,
go.
back to the
We gotta
bushes.
go. We have to go.
So
Pez, come on.
stealth is off the table, and you guys are booking it away from there.
Stealth is still on the table.
No, we wanna.
No, we
stealth.
wanna.
What are you guys doing? Are you stealthing
'Cause
or are you running?
What?
I want to watch. I want to watch from a safe distance.
So are you stealthing away from this building, or are you moving at a normal speed?
Vanera is grabbing Pez by his arm and dragging him back as quiet as she can.
We're gonna stealth.
Okay.
Okay.
Pez,
Pez, what are you doing? Pez, what are you doing?
I was gonna cast alarm.
Does that take too
okay.
long?
It takes 1 minute to cast.
That's too long.
All right, never mind.
I mean,
Sorry, buddy.
What
I
does
mean,
it do?
this is your call. If you want to do it, you can argue with Brick. He doesn't
be out of
rule you.
range anyway. No,
True.
range
Like,
slash
if
area
you want to
save.
do it, buddy, if you think we got a minute, it basically lets us know if anything comes after us.
I mean,
It's your call. What are you doing?
You guys go on ahead. I'll do something real quick.
No.
Don't worry, I got this.
Brick's gonna
Nice,
choose to
that's-
trust him. Brick's gonna choose to trust him and retreat to the bushes. I'd say I want to be 90 feet into the bushes before I stop and watch the red caps growing, and keep an eye on Pez.
Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a time thing now. Brick and Vanera, you two are stealthing away. I need you to make stealth rolls. Pez, you do still have pass. How long does Pass Without a Trace last?
Well, he has to be near Vanera.
I'm aware of that, but how long does it last, Vanera?
Lasts for an hour, I believe.
Okay, you were reaching the tail end of it, but I will say that you still have Pass Without a Trace for you and Brick. And Pez, if you want to stealth doing this, I would say that if you start it within Vanera's bubble, I will give you the +10 bonus to stealth as you were casting this.
okay.
So, stealth rolls from everybody.
21 for me.
29.
29.
Oh, I thought Caleb was gonna say something.
Yes. There's moss. Is moss only growing on the buildings? Or is there some on the ground too? Like in between the buildings and stuff?
The moss seems to only be growing around on the wood. The ground is just sort of dirt, and that's in the past seems to only be able to harbor scrub bushes and other really, really, really hardy plant life. The moss seems to be like soaking up the moisture from the wood, essentially.
So is there scrub brushes? Because we're still on the train station, right? We're sitting on top of it. Is there scrub brushes in front of the train station?
Not quite. Just because of the foot traffic back and forth, you would have to get a decent ways away from the train station to get back into bushes.
Okay. And that, okay.
Right. So, Pez, what was your stealth roll again? Sorry?
24.
24. Okay. Okay. So you cast alarm. How are you casting it? Or, like, where are you laying down your wire?
The mushrooms, are they like growing in a doorway or well, like a path?
They seem to be growing everywhere in the shadow of the building. The
It's like, where
walls,
would
the
be-
floor, the ceiling.
Where would be a good logical place to put this? Maybe a path leading out of town towards our camp?
Yeah, what's are you trying to give us a warning if anything these things come toward us?
Yes.
Then I would say on the perimeter outside the train station facing towards our camp,
Yeah.
if that's
I
what your
do that.
purpose is.
Okay. So then, as Brick and Vanera are backing up, you see Pez. Again, as it's getting darker, your vision started to get a little hazy, especially because the sun's kind of like into your eyes, but you see him kind of doing that, and he kind of wiggles his hands in the air, and he's kind of looks and goes, "Yeah, that's good." And then he backs on back towards. I'm assuming you go back towards them once you're done with the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you make it back to your group. Your spell has been cast. What are you all doing?
I'm 90 feet from the train station, so I can. We have enough of a head start if we need to book it, but I can still see what's happening.
Okay. Make a
I'm
perception
just
check
walking.
as the sun disappears over the horizon.
Against my better judgment, I'm going to pop Mortar out so I can use his vision, because he'll
Okay.
have better vision than I am.
The sun has dipped past the horizon. The sky is a deep, deep purple. It's becoming darker and darker. Brick snaps his metal
Natural
fingers.
20.
Natural 20.
So
Okay.
23 max.
So you all are
Mortar.
stealthed in the scrub, about 100 feet away from the train station. Your alarm has been set. Mortar soars up into the sky. Where is he going?
Well, see, he has dark vision for 120 feet, and
Mhm.
that was a natural 20 plus 3.
So he's just sitting
So
on your shoulder?
I was just gonna have him on my shoulder and using his eyes instead of mine, because I don't want to risk him.
Okay. From your current vantage, because you've gone away from the train station, you've gone back down the hill a ways. Seeing into the town is a bit difficult from your current vantage point, especially since you're crouched behind the scrub bush. You're able to see the railway station, and you were seeing that mushrooms of varying sizes and types are growing all over the structure. You can still see the structure, but on the roof, on the walls, the windowsills, in the doorways, and even see some of them sticking up through the broken panes of glass. Wherever there seems to be wood and it's not just pure dirt, there is fungus growing.
Is there anything moving around us?
Around you,
Where we're
Make a-
standing?
make a perception check. And with it being nighttime, if you don't have dark vision, I'll let this be a straight roll since it's not dark yet.
Straight rolled. 19 then.
19? Well, I just saw a 22 a second ago.
You said a straight roll, so I rolled a 19.
Well, sorry, when I say a
Plus
straight
your
roll, I
modifier.
mean not advantage,
Oh,
not
okay.
disadvantage.
Okay, then 22.
Yeah, sorry. You were sitting there quiet, and even Mortar, who was loud the night before, is silent. And you wait for a minute, and you realize that there is no sound but the wind. You're used to hearing crickets, animal calls in the distance, silence. But for the occasional rustling of a bush as the breeze passes through.
And so the mushrooms are growing. Nothing's coming out of the red splotches on the wall. It's just the red caps, but they're in varying sizes.
Correct.
And
The
these match the
mushrooms-
ones from my dream.
It's looking closer to what you saw in your dream.
Sorry, what were you about to say?
Just the mushrooms that had grown seem to be stunting their growth a little bit. They've grown, but they're not growing more.
I just think in my mind to Mortar, you got this, buddy. And I send him out.
Okay. You send him out towards the station, the town.
I'd send him to do a once over of the town just to see if he sees any movement and to see if the rest of the town matches the train station.
Okay. You send Mortar out. He's flying along. And as you snap your vision into his, you sense not as an immediate threat, but there's just a fear, just an unease as he's soaring through the air. I need you to make another perception check for him as you were flying through the town.
15.
15. Even though you're urging him to get as close as he can, Warner really doesn't want to, and he's fighting against your instructions, so he's keeping fairly high in the sky. And you see, even from the distance before, where there was just moss and broken wood, most, if not all, of the buildings are growing mushrooms, just like the Dragonfly station is. And when Mortar is soaring through some of the closer alleyways, the mushrooms are bigger.
Like, how much bigger?
Huge.
Almost the size of a stool. It looks like you could just go up and sit on one.
It's a toadstool.
Toadstool.
No, his name is Fang.
Or Vin. Or Chuck.
But no movement?
No movement.
Alright, I'm going to call him back.
Okay. Mortar circles back, lands on your shoulder, and puffs himself up and shakes, kind of like he's got the heebie-jeebies, and just seems very... doesn't want to sit still, almost. He's kind of like shifting his talons in your shoulder.
You did good, buddy. Take some rest.
Snap him away. So, the three of you are sitting outside of town in the dark.
I relay everything Mortar saw. That's going to be waiting for us in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
We need to burn it to the ground.
I'm so proud.
You just hear in the distance, "Thank you!"
Let's go back. Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
Might I also suggest...
Oh, wait, hold on.
Might I also suggest that we don't light a fire tonight?
That we don't what?
That we don't light a fire tonight.
Light a fire? That actually is not a bad idea.
So, Kasumi, did you set up the campsite like normal?
Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna roll. See if I did. Yeah.
Brick, as you say this, your mouth kind of falls open and you slowly turn and look back the way you would come. And there is a flickering orange light.
It's
quickly-
nighttime. You
I
said
quickly-
set up camp.
I quickly look back. Do I see any movement up the hill?
Make a perception check. And do you have dark vision?
No, I don't. It's a disadvantage.
There's a
Crap.
disadvantage. It is now nighttime.
Can I also...
No.
You're looking up the hill?
Yes.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
okay
you
because
can
I
either
still
roll
rolled a
yourself.
19.
I was gonna say you can roll yourself, or you can give him advantage since I didn't technically hear what he rolled.
So I rolled an 18 and a 16, so it's technically a 19.
Sure.
We're just gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I'll take it.
You see the campfire and you turn back and look up, and Pez and Vanira, you both think what? And then you look over and go, "Oh shit!" And you look, and you sit and you wait. Nothing.
Because how long does your alarm spell last?
8 hours.
Good. Let's start making our way back to camp. And we'll slowly shimmy our way back to camp.
Okay. I would say technically Pass Without a Trace is still barely active.
Oh, good.
Roll your stealths.
Oh, God.
At disadvantage. Oh, no.
I need numbers. 26,
Oh, thank God for Pass Without a Trace. 20.
20,
31.
31. Brick, as you were turning, Pez motion blur in your field of view, gone. Like you were in the middle of looking this way, and he just like out of here.
Rick just pauses and just
like,
to
no,
himself.
now's not the time.
I hate it when he does that and keeps shimmying.
Okay, so the three of you make your way back to camp. You're being extra careful at this point, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Slithering through the tall grass.
So I would say you get a couple 100 feet away when Pass Without a Trace ends, but you're still stealthed. Move on. You get back to the campsite. Kasumi, Zan, what have you two been doing? Have you been doing anything, or are you just waiting?
I have been grooming Fang while enjoying the very peaceful and quiet evening.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
Sumi's just been relaxing.
Both of you make a perception check for me, please.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Oh god, just two beady blue eyes coming.
26.
26.
One second. Internet.
My passive perception and regular perception are fantastic.
Why did it close?
That's a face.
I was reacting to a message.
Perception is a 13.
A 13. You do not pick up on it straight away. Zahn, you do. As with the other three, you notice that it is silent out here as I scroll down to turn off the crickets wherever they may be. You hear the... It takes you a while because you're in your zone, brushing yourself, brushing Fang with the fire crackling, but there is no other noise. So, you're both sitting around the campfire, patiently waiting. You haven't heard anything. And eventually you hear a little bit of a rustling as I'm stalling for time for Brick to put his headphones back on. There it is. The three of them creep back into the campsite, and they don't look good.
Oh, hey guys.
I run up to the campfire and kick sand into it to put it out.
Hey!
Why would you do this?
That was keeping me warm.
Wasn't keeping me warm, but
Anything that we can do to not have attention on us would be fantastic. We don't know if this thing underground can hear us,
Or see us.
or see us, or sense us, or literally anything.
so what would give you the? Why would you think that the fire would do this?
Well, if they can see us from the town and they see a fire,
Did you
Yeah.
see? Was the town? I mean, the town was it empty? What was that?
The town appeared empty, except for a lot of moss growing, which, according to Venera, they think they've been there for a lot longer than they should have.
Okay, so I see moss. What's threatening about moss?
Now,
It
how
wasn't
do we
the
know there's
moss.
something else?
Okay, so what else was it?
So there was patches of red everywhere that we figured out as very, very old blood, older than it should be, as with everything else in this town. And as soon as it got dark, a lot of the mushrooms that I saw in my dream started growing out of it.
So wait, back up. So you said when it got dark, it got worse,
Mm-hmm.
and you just kicked the fire out.
No, sunlight.
Don't
Fire
think
is
fire's
not
good.
sunlight.
All I'm hearing is it got dark and got worse, and now it's very dark over here.
Yes, well, I'd rather not draw additional attention to us.
According to the plants that Venera was talking to as well, there are things that stomp through the town at night.
I did manage to set up an alarm, so if anything does stomp through that, then I'll know immediately.
Is it gonna
Oh.
wake all of us?
Just me. It'll be
Oh.
very annoying, and I will be very annoying and wake all y'all up.
Okay.
Okay, that,
If we want to put the fire back on, we'll put it to a vote, but I know
don't.
some of us would feel a lot safer.
I say no fire.
I suppose we can go without it.
That's fine, I guess. We will go without the fire. Actually, that's a good question. Does he...
It's not like it wouldn't be easy to conjure some flames if need be in a tight predicament, but if there are things stomping around, I'd rather them not notice that there is something within sight.
Are
So the
these
running
mushrooms
theory-
toxic?
I mean, they were red caps.
And there were some inside the town that Mortar saw that were big enough to sit on comfortably.
But is it something that we can walk around, or...
At night? Oh,
Oh,
I'm not
but
going
during
in
the
there.
day?
maybe.
Okay.
Venera, did you sense anything while we were there?
It's what the gods have been saying.
What I mean is, when I tried to get Mortar to go closer for a better look,
No, I didn't sense anything moving around. But
no, I mean, he wouldn't. Mortar does not disobey my commands. It's not usual, but he would not get closer. He felt something primal.
It-
Dangerous.
feels like death. It's this overwhelming sense of dread and despair.
Been's that?
Well, the good news is get your wish. It's all getting burnt to the ground.
Yay. Why didn't you burn it now?
Honestly, I mean, we probably could have, but that would have either A, drawn more attention, or B, the fumes might have been very, very toxic.
I mean,
Personally,
fumes...
I would have appreciated everyone being there for backup rather than just part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
DM, does Venera know what would happen if you burned a red cat mushroom?
Generally speaking, there's the potential that the spores would release, but the spores, you know from screwing around with them before, they're so small that any flame is just going to make them. So if the mushroom is on fire, then the spores coming out is just going to make a little flash and be done with it.
Even so, there'd be like no risk of inhaling the spores. Like that was my.
Highly unlikely. Because of the sense that if the fire is the cause of it shooting the spores out, they're so small and so
Flammable.
cloudy. It's literally, to put it in a good explanation, science class had a pumpkin with a candle inside, filled it up with mushroom spores, shoved a tube in the back of the pumpkin, blew into it, and that was enough for this fucker to breathe fire like 3 feet out the front of the pumpkin. That shit is fucking flammable.
Flammable. Okay.
So, well, as far as I see it, we have two options right now. We can try to go set fire to the town right now,
Oh, try such a strong word.
or we wait till dawn when the sun has driven whatever comes out at night back into its hole, and we go straight for the source at the cave,
I mean,
and
if
not
it
have
only...
to fight through the entire town.
Well, see, the problem with that is the cave is not going to have sun in it. And
Right.
from what you just said, it kind of sounds like there are going to be large mushrooms in it, which means we'll have to wait longer.
Either way, we're going into the cave. It's the difference between fighting through the entire town first or just going straight to the heart of the matter.
Mhm.
I mean, did you guys actually see anything?
We saw the mushrooms.
Okay, so mushrooms are cemented to the ground at least as far as I know about mushrooms.
No, we did not see any of the things that the moss claimed lumbered around, but I have no doubt that it's there waiting.
But also, using logic, if these creatures only come out at night, then that means they might be more weak during the day. So if we waken them unexpectedly, could give us an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That is true as well, I guess.
Plus, then we get to sleep and rest.
And again, if anything comes towards us, my alarm will alarm.
Mm-hmm.
So sleep.
Yeah, that's what I say.
I'll take first watch.
I'll join you.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Okay. Other watch orders?
I'll take the last. If anyone wants to join me, they are
I'll take
welcome.
last.
Okay,
Alright.
so Rick and Pez on last. Which one of you two wants to do second watch?
I can do it.
Are we both taking it?
If you want to sleep, you can. If you want to be up, you can. I am very perceptive.
Assuming we'll take a watch to be a good sport. So she'll take a watch with on.
Okay.
You can brush each other's tails.
Yes.
This is your moment, Zan.
Yes.
Okay.
So brushing will be
my
memorable.
moment.
So first watch, Venera, roll a perception check, and then we can discuss whatever it is that you want to do.
Ugh. 9.
9. You again don't hear or see anything, except your mounts all seem very uneasy. They keep trying to tug against their barding to get further away from the town as possible, but they can't quite get away, and they also don't seem to want to leave you, but because you know that Kiwi and Juniper would be able to rip their barding off without issue, but they look very, very uncomfortable. Is there anything you would like to do during your watch?
Was there anything in the book that she got from what's his face?
You're talking about your potion book?
Yeah.
Let me take a look-see.
About anything ingredients wise about mushrooms. I don't think so.
Well, without wasting too much time, likely there would be potentially ingredients of how it could be used for potions. Potions or poisons or medical salves, potentially. But what exactly are you looking for?
Weaknesses, like if there was anything just like we've tried this on this mushroom and this is the results that it gave us, like shit like that.
Most of the mushrooms you know of, like most plant life, fire do good.
Fire do good.
Fire do good. Fire pretty good against plant life in general.
And she's just gonna sit there watching the town.
Okay. You are still a fairly decent ways away, and you do not have dark vision, so you keep an eye out. You're watching for any hint of movement, but nothing seems to catch your attention. Your watch comes to an end. You go and you rouse Kasumi and Zahn.
Kasumi.
Is it time to wake up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, you guys are really good at acting at yawning. I know we're.
I'm wide awake.
You both can roll your own perception checks. You can give one or the other advantage.
I'm gonna give you advantage.
Okay. The 19 and a 19. So plus 8, so 27.
27. You plant yourself so that you're facing the town, and your radar dishes are pointed right that way. Same with Kasumi's. Yeah. Kasumi, this night, you weren't there, so you didn't really see it, but you could sense the aura from your companions that this is really kind of freaky. And where you would normally try to meditate, you can't seem to really focus very much. You're really looking at the town. Zahn, from this distance, you as well, you don't have dark vision. You can see the outline of the buildings on top of the mesa, but you're just too far away to, even with that roll, you're too far away. But with your ears, you feel like you hear maybe a creak, like a creaking sound, but you can't quite tell if it's plant life between you and the town or if it's actually from the town. You're just too far away. Otherwise, your night goes without a hitch, and it is one of the most unnerving watches that any of you have ever had, just because of the lack of nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's anything you would like to do during your watch.
Oh, that's a wolf. I'm sorry. The first wolf, it sounded like a belch. I was about to be like,
Oh,
that's fine.
it's probably
No,
just Fang
Kasumi's-
passing gas.
Yes, I will cuddle the dinosaur.
Kasumi's just very somber with just the whole atmosphere. And she just stays very attentive.
Okay.
Don't worry, Kasumi. We will be fine.
Once we find out what it is,
So,
kill it with fire.
partway through your watch, Britch, are you rousing for your 1.5 watches, or are you staying out until your 1 watch?
I'll wake up halfway through.
Okay. So you rouse from your chair, refusing to tear your eyes away from the town. You grab the chair, bring it with you, sit beside the other two. Is there anything you would like to do with them before their round of watch is done?
No, he's silent.
Okay. Then the two of you go on to bed. One of you rouses Pez. Pez, you come up and you join Brick in his watch. Same option for both of you. Roll separately or give one advantage.
I will give you advantage because you probably have better perception.
All right. Ooh, natural 20.
Natural 20.
You have advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. What's the second roll?
So 25.
25. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to do during your watch together?
Well, first off, Pez barely got any sleep because he is freaked the fuck out.
Rick is just sharpening his axe.
Pez is making sure all his guns are loaded.
Rick, I'm going to sleep.
You hear the grumble from the tent, and you really have to decide.
Don is outside. Fuck you.
Oh, right. Sorry, you're with your dinosaur. Apologies.
Yes.
So Pez,
It's magically made.
Are you the only one with dark vision?
Am I? Is this a first?
I have dark vision, but I'm
You do?
asleep.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, sorry, you're not quite the unique flower. With that critical success, you were laser focused on this town, having woken up repeatedly with dreams of it. And you can see the outlines of the buildings, but they're lumpy. And at one point in the night, you swear you saw something move on the rooftop. But you blink and you rub your eyes thinking maybe you just hadn't blinked in a while, because it's kind of something you do. But nothing else seems to catch your attention. And after a time, the sun begins to crest the horizon on your right, sky begins to lighten. And with your perception roll, Pez, as soon as you see the sunlight start to kiss the wooden beams, the lumpiness begins to fade and shrink. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
No, it's so
You bet.
early.
I mean, unless you guys want to keep going, we have been going for almost 3.5 hours. I've been hearing some yawning. That is where
Part
we're
of me
going
wants to get into that town.
I know, but once we start, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? No, there's nothing there.
way.
There's nothing to worry about. It's perfectly
It's a bunch of
safe.
Like an end on a
mushrooms.
cliffhanger.
Listen, you guys don't quite understand the amount of fire in which this town is going to be purged in when I get to it.
We're just walking through the town and walk past the dark alley.
Like, you walk past, you're walking through the town, there's just a fucking storm cloud above Zon head, just fucking shooting lightning bolts everywhere. Setting everything ablaze.
All of the fire!
All right.
Man.
Is there anything that anyone wants to share, have questions on before we end up? No? Okay.
Yeah,
If you enjoyed it, please give us a follow on Twitch. We also have our Discord. The link should be down below. We try to hang out and chat and all in there, but we're all tugged different ways with life. But that is on our Discord channel where you will get updates on when we were going to go live next. We do play bi-weekly, so not this Friday, but next Friday, so long as schedules allow. Then we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. So thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.